Me okay.
No worry. Okay. Next time me jam why.
Za.
Na kwa trans no boy.
Okay.
Thinking kwa.
Who your friend?
Oh, my friend.
Enyamba o.
Means radu sir.
Misro. Kofi. You are very fine. You are very fine.
You are very fine. And Rodrigo pay me you Barcelona airport.
Aye.
No, see it's a dream.
Players can no mun can cry na say dia.
Say if you need in the dream. If you need in the dream. Do you know
of course you do uncle or can the same thing.
So in the position. Say only no see dreams on the Pep Beduma. But we a dream for Barcelona. They are not media video ni they are not pose as we relax say a dream. Also on BGBBA. Also on BGBBA. Madrid should forget about Mbappe Diamonde. Nze enra say uti in common Jose Mourinho is trying to set up in a 4-2-3-1 with Diamonde on the right, Jude Bellingham more or less as a 10, Mbappe as a number 9, and then Vinicius Junior on the left. Now, the double pivots in a minimum, whether it's going to be Tchouameni, Bernardo Silva, it's going to be Tchouameni, Camavinga, what is going to be the combination for Madrid? It's Madrid for the Mutini set. But Rodri Cascante say now that Onuama Bedru Barcelona airports now, they'll win everything. And that is exactly what's in front of Mundo Deportivo. No? My Spanish name here, so I won't try to pronounce it, but we can say Vamos de Ayonco. Now Putudo no usually is everything. Vamos Vamos a Porto.
Okay, yes, you are Daniel.
There's a young Kojibia. Rich, honestly speaking,
my dear, so garbage ram gabi the foreigner or the kind cry what can I say? Enche abobo amane nenso na no de eben ewia near the first time we adwumade no ye wie ya no ne akọ adom akofa adom kase no enso etimi ade abramo we the midweek edition and then Wednesday na ye be chance ade free ayamane but before no me saw Johnny live on YouTube. Oko YouTuber Nhyira TV. YouTube Nhyira TV. O subscribe channel na anytime biano. We say nki atena to benya notification e kire se Nhyira passport ya atena se dia agudem nsam no e de eba so ho. Na o subscribe wi a no aja message no ho. Yakoba na ekenka messages amode abrain. I will show no so ene anopai. Manchester United is in the news. Na player bi a yakosan no ho etiefo Chelsea for mom paye say saka sa brand to say Kim League ni agini in advance me di kan catch them Manchester United akọ player bi ho yakwa enso na sika na edekọ emu ohwam kama na say saka player say Kim teams na mo Premier League ni na Munya League ni because ya be in advance a player ben ya de sa player no wasem edeba na Jose Mourinho so be chechem reason tia team from Real Madrid and sign Rodri and free Man City. Na samo otia in fact utia ni chechemu na wa krababu sa asema Jose Mourinho kende mpacho asemban anan chechemu be na Jose Mourinho enso akoka ade afa branch Rodri ni di no ho anonso ye de san komo no ede brem na Napoli de ewurade nyame amanfo hihye omutim ni ade omso mpeba de ahio etimi ka say omanfo branch from Chelsea okosina kan ediama aye Napoli anonso ahon komo ye de eba Jama Musiala yese nura wasan ko clubs biem awo park so na Brent yeze yenim ade biaze na nso obobo bia na clubs awo park so anonso ye de hon komo ade bramo ne komo pi ebe fi amonene abana no pay ansana ya be fi na ye de fisam ade abram na bibizo ede enura myanka sana mbeka bi diamant asante ko coach yi Tinkler I don't know papa anna asako kan nsem ni biem wadanna kuma asase no ko empanifo ye nhihye ama Tinkler ene the media no hyian omo ye press conference kakra na press conference na so no panini dia akotu dia se nyamia no krani oba Ghana pitches enkoye na se de opesa kotokopo ball no pitch ninti as a kotobo no bono enyefe I said there's no standard pitch oh krum hakitwe bi And so your Kwabani Abachatting at the Afro Panini Sama Hasako Kai, and so who are fay Hearts of Folk transfer band make us say, Adia FIFA, and so to me, I left the Kwame Parado, and so the command on also watch it in SMP at me at the Ama Ninsema Auto account be and midweek edition of Instructed Guitar Passwords at T4 Yabo 170 Nano, na at the Abramo Richard and ye, the Pamacho Garbage Ram Kabi the foreigner. Ese Jumedina say Eddie Free Amane Eddie Amramo. Good morning.
Amusu garlic bitters, Mamoja dear fruit.
And now so beside my question be. So between City and then Barcelona, one Engano monetary terms, I told you I think it's Manchester City. Alright, and your transfer be also na a transfer ese winya amortization also. As a winner resale value also, and your transfer behind it. Certain transfers are invaluable, to be very honest with you. And for example, Rich, if you do the breakdown of the cost of Rodri Cascante, the salary of almost 30 million, that possibly is probably going to take you compared to Yandy Omonde. Although Yandy Omonde costing was shown based on age, salary, and and how much more these two players can play. No, one here a financial person, accountant, make at you say. Yandy Omonde deal no less expensive than Rodri Cascante. So who show you from Sika Sema Fema? Who say, oh, Rodri Basafona paid too much for a player that had almost just 12 months on his contract. Basafona paid too much for a player when your ACL injury. We don't know what the prognosis of that injury can be next season. Basafona paying too much for that. Marriage. If you really want to do a proper analysis of Football Club Barcelona, Barca's full dream today is that as they are entering the 12th year of not winning the Champions League, Adia Bakomo pays to be able to win the Champions League. I think that is paramount in the conversation at Football Club Barcelona. And then, Ubisa, every Barcelona fan, that between the Spanish La Liga and then, of course, also the Champions League, what do they want to win now? Which I'm sure Barcelona want the feeling of the Champions League back. And in the last 2 seasons, Madrid have been unsuccessful on the trophy here in 2 seasons, and it's one of the few times, if not the only, Madrid have got 2 seasons consecutively on GBBR. But the pain of the Champions League quarter-final exit for Barcelona last season, the pain of the Champions League semi-final exit against Inter Milan 2 seasons ago for Barcelona is a huge worry for every member of the club, including Hans-Dieter Flick, including Deco, including Juan Laporta, including almost every social at Football Club Barcelona. And the boys from here Barcelona for 2 and 3. And that is probably the reason it's here. Rodri near drew Barcelona airport to almost started somewhere in the interview. The first thing he said was that we are going to win everything for the club.
Which includes the UEFA Champions League.
Champions League. Which league need Oma Hunubo?
Omaja.
2 time and a team and your cry. I used to describe the Barcelona team as bare bones. I'm handing over to Hans-Dieter Flick. He conjured the German magic and gave them 2 successive La Liga titles. Winning Copa del Rey in the first one, I think the second one, and then win the Super Cups as well. If it is that alone, they know how to do it. Now listen to this. Rodri say, for the Champions League, we are going for all the titles. And it's as clear as that. Rich, Rodri is a 6. And in modern day 6, so what's your Barcelona team now? Anytime that last season on Beboro, they played some person double pivoter. They play with Frankie and then Pedri. There were times where say or something else in the game, he could push, especially in the second half of matches or Chelsea game, no. Obe push Pedri to go up more or less like an extra number 10 next to Dani Olmo, or replacing Dani Olmo. Now feel for our Frankie de Jong and maybe Eric Garcia. Frankie de Jong, now that Bernal is back, can play Frankie de Jong and Marc Bernal. But I think, and I've always said it, after the World Cup, it looks as if Luis de la Fuente has shown us a different version of how Barca can be stable and they still go for attack. It's more or less impressive very high. You really born from there. But it's also dependent on the high line. Now, for you to get an effective high line, we have proper coordination between the defense line and also the central midfield. So, with the experience of Rodri Cascante as a pivot, in fact, who didn't compare Sergio Busquets because of maybe the longevity of Sergio Busquets in the game. Some others will argue that Rodri now has been more successful because he has won the Ballon d'Or. Sergio did not win the Ballon d'Or. But there is also another argument of the players with which Sergio played with. And then he never came into the conversations of the Ballon d'Or. But let's scrap that. But so Uche play Ojina Park in Fifi. Now has the eye as a midfielder. And can now play as the pivot. You know, the role of a midfield pivot now the anchor. They be a say shape ababe dokeno. They drop the anchor. Send the bear shape no ebe maintain balance. Iti sa so chibana ababe bone suora. And sink shape no because the anchor is there. And I think there's a Catholic hymn that talks about your anchor holding the storms of life. And that is what Rodri is. So pictorial analysis of it. So Rodri now, he becomes the anchor of Barcelona. That will mean that Barca can unleash Pedri Gonzalez. Means that we cannot tell you. With Rodri coming, Pedri doesn't have to be the one that orchestrates play. Recycle play. Pedri in here. But who realized 2 seasons ago, last season, who man gave me my day. Now see Flicker push Pedri up. No wash out the future. No a creating chance be not. So if Rodri now comes and he sits with the experience that he has, with the physicality and the cognitive strengths that people compare to Sergio Busquets, he can anchor the team. Then João Cancelo can push up. Have Rafinha come inside into the left half space. Then if you want to play a rest defense of 3-1, Rodri now sits between the 3 center backs, Pau Kubasi, Gerard Martin, then Jude Koundé will make it 3. Now Ronaldo already needs anymore as an anchor. Then you push attackers forward. Send the Bayer. Danny Olmo help net picking the right house space, no. Not Pedri so net picking the left house space. This will be able to form a formidable team. They will have enough numbers to create and break down low blocks. They will have enough numbers to press and counter press. They will have enough numbers to convert chances. And maybe we have to agree with the school of thought that if you compare Julian Alvarez and Rodri, which of them is the most important for Barcelona? Some people think that Rodri, defensive stability no here. And a cargo soon quality will make Chelsea so Karim Beshek Rafinha Beshek Akra, Lamine Beshek Akra, Daniel Beshek Akra, Femi Lopez Beshek Akra, Anthony Gordon Shebi. Then they be a set pieces be by Rodri Nemu Benya 2-3 be the account. Then they have a strong team that will be able to compete with Football Club Real Madrid in the Spanish La Liga and compete with the likes of Paris Saint-Germain, any Arsenal next season. Rich, and Hansi Lista Flake say there might be something we are missing. And for me, it's that anchor.
And only Rodri, no.
Beton Sony Mama shape now a balance for Pedri Gonzalez to push forward and they go and play the football. Meaning, other people think Frankie here, but who say on the ball, no, yeah. But without the ball, he is not as good physically. Who say, Nancy was a rich DM a Jumano. Who you DM, you expected to do like 3 or 4 things. Who CM a Jumaka cracker home. Frankie is more of a CM, but not boy in a DM role. Because in a DM role, you're supposed to do the job with and without the ball. Okay, the ball now, I mean, how many midfielders are better recyclers of play than Frankie? But there are 2 things. Last season, Hansi Flick complained about how long Frankie holds on to the ball. Who said, oh, yes, our players now, to steer 10 before the pass goes. Rodri makes it easy. Marich, forget about whether Rodri replaces Frankie and as a Frankie beats me and as Rodri into me. Rich, imagine a big game where Barcelona say, on person more year there, Luis de la Fuente here in Spain versus Argentina. Oh, but match be sir. You need 2 things. So, bet me extra control of FIFA account. Imagine a game, let's say, against Inter Milan 2 seasons ago. Then in the middle, he plays Rodri Cascante next to Frankie de Jong, and then plays Pedri Gonzalez as a number 10. No about Dani Olmo from one of the wings. Let's say Rafinha play with these injuries. It means that Jack Cancelo bet me keep it waiting. No about Benyan Fifi 2 number 10s in Pedri and Dani Olmo. Then the 2 players that we know, Frankie de Jong can decide not to do the defensive job. Rodri will sit and anchor. Then he can play. It's rich. I think it's a good buy. And it's a good fit, and it gives them that. Meaning, if it is enough to win the Champions League, and really the only thing I'm unsure about, it can give them the anchor, the tactical waffle, no, it is true. But Rich, is it enough to give Barcelona the Champions League? Away at Paris Saint-Germain, can they stop them? Honestly, I'm still worried about Barcelona defense now. I'm not worried about Julian Alvarez. Barca will be fine this season. My problem is still at centre back. The way I'm going to cover Rodri Ababesha on my left side midfield on him. Before the season, the summer started, it was Alejandro Bastoni. Then I'm going to focus, Bastoni. But it looks as if Barca don't want to do the Bastoni deal. Then we went to the World Cup. Then Emerick Laporte stepped up with Pau Kubasi. I know that there is bad blood of a sort because of Nico Williams in T between Athletic Club and the Football Club Barcelona. But I think that is a deal that Barca probably should be looking at. So when your Athletic Club, William Emerick Laporte, now when your Pau Kubasi Jina in chain, Christensen are back in the team, but Christensen is left-footed centre back. Gerard Martin can play at the left side of centre back. Fine, but if you can get these two, I think that is a team that will be able to compete. But yeah, how the season will go. Jose say anything here.
No, Rodri is will be undoubted.
Yeah.
Sabo see Jemfi me bobody.
Yeah.
Nobody doubts him.
Yeah.
But when you say Barca fan bia dia ba kwa odwen ho sisi no be ko so abompae.
Yeah.
Ne say Abrante no say players no unya ACL.
Oh yeah.
Oh ha. Sometimes na ba. So I mean when you say Barca ni bia mpa obobo no. Say Abrante ni pre bia nko ha no. Say nyame adu na season start ya. But so 100% fit.
Yeah.
Now Rodri so oboba. Say me no bi anim. They play how yeah.
But Rich, Rodri inclusion alone plus Adeyemi and Gordon, does it win Barcelona the Champions League?
I think Edwamo buying trophy no.
Is there so kasi Edwamo jina here? Economic here because Barcelona without Rodri do semi-final.
But and also say with the new additions no, and on kwa bet me Champions League this season. Ebia na anya this season. But bia next season we bet you Champions League.
Say can next season come between Mark Banalo. Like 2 seasons from now between Mark Banalo.
No, Kofi, we are talking about players are phenomenal joining Barcelona.
Yeah.
So what I say?
Yeah.
The Barca team, you know, the telepathy, it takes time.
Yeah.
Season you calling no players they take and they may be say. That is what I'm saying, say. Ebia now quite this season.
But next season.
Satan a formidable side. Winning the Champions League very easy.
Where is Barca team match see what it is. Say we don't have no over beti omuwasi. Yeah, the big can work akwaje.
Aye.
I don't know.
But I don't quite any guarantee. And some person say.
Okay. Because we say for a lot of Barcelona fans, the hope is that Yenya Ballon d'Or winner. World Cup near the best player.
Rodri Aba.
Waje World Cup no. It get ni beshema. We should be able to, and that's where.
Don't forget Anthony Gordon free Premier League ne kobo La Liga.
15 goals last season in all competitions.
La Liga no kobo.
Oh, about the all share the almost compared.
Barcelona no kobo.
Obeshe goals. Rich, go see there, don't worry. That is why I'm not too enthused about Julian. Go see there, don't worry. Adeyemi Enye Kra last season I think only about 10 goals in all competitions. Gordon about 15. Rafinha Enye Kra I'm sure was about close to 10 or 9 thereabouts. Lamine Yamal last season had goals. Dani Olmo Kakra. So I'm not too worried about goals, honestly. Mine is about the defensive stability. If Rodri can give them that, then the back line, I think say, the football is interesting. So let's see what the season holds for us. For me, it's an excellent buy.
Manchester United is no Manchester no player ne nyina no enkomo ha yade eba ewo dwumadie so na Jamal Musiala dia akoso ama branche no nsen ye obusia kan na branche no twahe eno ada ebi sensie na mede munchemu e de aba Barcelona the latest update eba ne nyina monsabe kan player ben na eba ehun kobo ne nyina yade eba ewo dwumadie so winning some kayepi na yade bravo enti uko YouTuber na wodo comment no enso aba wo subscribe anytime bia video bia be ready no wonso set to be akaniye pa ejani ne Rexona ana mekam for the ama ebema ho ahwehwem 72 hours eden kapapa ne be gina ho enti adopai waso de na wohia de betimi ama ho ahwehwem a eye Rexona na de chance wonim say wo obi amfifre tato na amfifre so de etu bebrebe a eden kabone ana edi gina ho Rexona na mekam for edi ama okoba bia ye ton aye bodies plus ana fe ye ton spray oko cosmetic soap bia won saba count there na unso etime yusu bi kama tell us how edema hiti promo no edi aba wo mo se wo mo chesika 1 million Ghana cedis every month bia no unso betime na bia di afen so every week 20,000 Ghana cedis no so mo de che anya hwekra every day 100 Ghana wonso saba count there ni nyina ye tell us how my hiti promo no wo fa phone na wadare star 500 has star 500 has better storm we betime yusu tell us play up no na with the digma na also wonsa etime akabi wa hete na eno so etime ayakama makato sa sisa no dia atwande ayakama pa eno anso ayasa o mawani ate na ba mawani ate dia sisa no chere aya Belmont ena mekam for ediama Belmont non-alcoholic aya mont drink original one no ya dia back atasa wonsa be count dia you be na engagement outdoor we be na event be na na opesa wonso tele wa no womani gidia Belmont ana mekam for dia ma gibi fa so fridge man na enye kama wo pedodo atwato number sabe fresh no 0544355900 and I say 05544 05443 na wo so anya Belmont na etima kama MTN Ghana say wo mo tawade na do me ma ye home fiber jentepa na do home fiber na fa di dwuma na we no wo mo 500 megabyte we no 500 megabyte per second na just o send ya dia enya fi na beba fa o send ya na ekom eno every month bia 99 na obetua afenso 300 megabyte per second and also 444 every month and mo wo 100 megabyte per second eno ye 299 na also MTN Ghana amount data package no home fiber at as wo mo dia ba wo ma tawroma eni nyuma kon kaya pi naja ena no pay wo mo eso yasene awede won sam no ya konkrofa man so ya de latest update na de bro ya ka to say so na live our TikTok handle and to call TikToker no Nhyira FM Nhyira 1045 FM TikTok handle okwa na weta messages no ho na ja yet making can nyina ja ma come na no so atima bo on YouTube and so Nhyira TV on YouTube na ja wo so atimi atwane na ana La Liga game ba ko tota Atletico Madrid o mo game a wo me ne Malaha ebo eno ye 7 PM ana sa game no so etota afi wo ko friendly game a eno Barca wo game na mebasa Barca game no so but UEFA Champions League no qualification game ni be total Celtic Bobo kono womo enso ne Lance Lask enso e game womo so eba fe hapo Barca womo so ene Saba FK ebo game na fe yanya team ani de nanchem womo so e game so ebo na womo ene Podo Glimt ana ebo na yanya Slaven Bratislava womo ne NK Saudi enso game wonbebo team eno yamatisa total e UEFA qualification final there and anope make tere kakra e de ama wanchecha hodo nyina nsunti na yangati de so rambo yendi nkoba kakra ewo enkrofo amanso na wonim se latest update Baba no Mamensa from La Liga na uramo La Liga sisi no poly market womo de aba in percentage wise when the betima de La Liga this season na de sini na so womo tasa womo kokoto womo ba no online na fenso omo bisa kono 6 womo mini football mu ye pa no womo tasa Madrid e the chances womo betima de La Liga e de so na so this season 2026 2027 season womo tasa in percentage wise no Madrid extra 63% 35%. So betimi ade La Liga. Ade so omena so Barcelona ekwa 35%. So betimi ante ana Atletico Madrid ewo 14%. Deportivo Alaves ekwa 10%. Na wanya Celta Vigo omu kwa 10%. So omu so betimi ade La Liga no ade so omena so ntimpato La Liga mo amu follow no do betimi ante na no pay poly bucket for ade amami amediaba na me ko AS Monaco makodi nkomo kakra friendly gun na uko friendly gun nkoba me sakane ya say Brantani dinade Paul Billy Pogba wonya doping air problem ama wonya ban ne ajade from Juve a new crime party was same prime yatia ya so ko AS Monaco wono ma ye train wo manya fa no wabo last season no kakra na last season ni na 6 matches ana Brantani so etimi boy wo mo tese ade no enkoye Pogba nyame anim ne Pogba na ne anim no Manchester Pogba na yanim no our the France na certain Pogba yanim wo Italian Serie A okopo ba eye Juve na nya sa Pogba ana omunya no anso the France aye league nim ento mo tese open no mutimi ni nya aduma biem contract no o matamleti sisana Brantani ba bi opabia no wetimi ko enom aye reporter ja eba ewo dwumadi so na confirmation no enya ba mako Aston Villa Brantani dia do Matthew Rotege womonum Rogari rather Macho Rogari Abrante Romania Asan from Atletico Madrid 25 million euros fixed price and 1.5 and also advance account and he said don't know my computer no under Aston Villa at the confirmation swapper and you report and now pay make it today Adama now Mamin ko Hurricane Namin Kodin Komaka Kwanada Media Brante on Komana and pay Mamin confirming Cantos and now 2 p.m. Anna Branton 2025-2026 Golden Boy once a ban top scorer a ban golden boot now what on a test on what on sweat me GDC now so now what on reporter men second I saw yaso oko bayana woman so by ceremony be our museum ho na near 2 p.m. Anna saw sir omun so by so madana yaso moya ho and on media Branton award and so the bemano as opa Europa a golden shoe no what on so then sir and your reporter Brantana kate eba ewo tumandi so ene anope mika check akwa dem na mamen ko Manchester United the meaning ko bakakra wo ko Manchester United na Marcus Rashford enso wo Brantana last season ni nyina no obo adama Barcelona bobo ko no waba na no dambeke me baba katam say Manchester United now pay players back one wo mo enso bonati pa in terms of any time on training and the kwan fa so any training Marcus Rashford enso ka but as he said they make him confirm aka to us Brantani ba back no ya say wo ko Manchester Claudio mo ho na wo ko mo training grounds ho na wo pay player pa ya say obantam wo ye ni training bibia ya kama de ma na wontimi embo 2 players wa bra wo mba Brantani wensu edi wo mo report Mensaka Manchester United this time we manager Brantani training na why the club ni yepa asada so kwan wa fa so enkoda ni nyina obobo no environment Manchester United so many ate na so munya players wo mu wa ya tutu to say Marcus Rashford and kebia Manchester United enkoda ni nyina no wo mu nsu mu etimamiamia one player ya say won ni one grokra na JJ Kipvel ya say sa akoda no obako na Marcus Rashford ate no ene na tena say ata so ata many so and you know Manchester United ewa Brantani dia di sai like ana say wopon listen so one bejo so mpato akoda no so yeso na akoda no so hia edi nkomo church azamasa Manchester United say ne abono wo baye ni say betimi aboa wo ye ni say betimi aboa ano I reporter if Marcus Rashford this time the new Manchester United coming back and nkomo kakra total ewo dwumadi so na anopa make chedema na mamen ko Napoli min ko din nkomo kakra kaya Napoli bobo ko ni Chelsea ekodi nkoma sankanya hwekwa no wo mfa Benoit Badiashile emfa mo na feso basikele amaya duma no emfa mo na no pe mo amatwane e we screen so Benoit Badiashile ana wadwane welante ewo Napoli Claudio mo ho atase wono so ekwa sign the contract edama SS Napoli reporter mensaka lonto ana tese bebremom obolo ni hwe na tese Brantani umbenya sign na tese no so beba betotwa na reporter young with the way near many and Swissiko and your reporter men second I would to media so Chelsea and your meeting Kobaka to Masa I could under born on him boy pana nano dana natas and your man said and queer near the identity where the man or your good player winning in New Komoyo Namu has a contract in the Banavia Mobana and Santas in Afe Yankan Fufana Branton and Concosane and for Mamunti Abanton and Yalante at a Sanusia reporter jam Papa I would to media and a make Chedama Nama co Arsenal Namakwa Din Kobaka Crow Arsenal Bobo Kunum na Oko Arsenal Gomusio and Suyo Penyanity at the Richard Gallic na Richard Gallic and Sweden Kobaka Cradi Atuta Yebisasa Arsenal Tibno Sana Niamane City Arsenal mobile sign players and what's the Ankamo Biantas Arsenal players now in fact many the players who ye pa and now Mukra strong air squad na Sana impo some better player and your player be a saka and one player be a Timisono dance one player be to miss any mwemia and don't say Arsenal enya tona oba be game changer at the man Arsenal bobo kono sir omunya bako sadia and the Gunners ebedi juma anya sa padia and say Mikel Arteta players one wa Arsenal team no wo munyina yo okay o metimi dia juma no one tina Arsenal aka so metimi dia players kwan and not that me baba ka sansam no at the chairman no ya reporter ja elpa e wo juma dia so nei make a check dem na mami kojo se mawino min kodi Komakakwa ano ajo sakasa wa granti interview na wane chire quinto na edin kobo enkomo bebre e wa ha menya abote na mayi ni 1111 adjama na mubaka Barcelona any referee be case eba and you feel last 2 seasons eba ano kwampo na ma team and dinade Barcelona any Madrid wo munya eye heated eye kapa tese na nya sam ketwa kra ema Fiorentino Perez any openya ne de one Laporta wo munsa da nya fine biem no Nina Frisa Nhyira eye ni case no na another Jose Mourinho ko interview ano mbisansa na what Barcelona and refina ya friend Nhyira no what omo nsensem na no say ansam no akwakofa bai saden time bi na me baya na me ye adwuma de mama de no oh na me sene feniama enti mu amotani e wo YouTube no mbewu sa branta no open de nsa akore hwena no sa eteso sa baba pe no titi bibi pampan bi bonus basa for eye katra wo dwem ni ade bera aja one ne hwan no beka ho asem eno yankoba kakon so me pato open di Twitter e wo dwuma de so ene make etere e de ama wan chesha hodo nyina so on your number one account radio station the asantema nyina ate atumni away from that no Jose Mourinho esa din komo efa kele Mbappe hom na amesa this question aye Mbappe na ho fama ade mama de tim no ano tell say na takoda we no otesa manfo kan ho asaba na aye ne yaye pa esa say ope players obukọ wake up na nka so mo return late kura na nka brante we eka ho ya say penchi chem no no makata brante say anko return on the 14th of August ya etwa ya on the 12th of August na killing Mbappe aba we bisana was so the team ni ba be training say na bi metima jali na this season wo mo so ekọ adwama so metima bo adwuma ye ada so mo boko Europe na say La Liga no wo mebo so aboni ye eno ya reporter abranta ni den killing Mbappe edit Twitter and na Jose Mourinho say enti sa o kasa no anya bote esa so pe players o mo ye hard working players utimi nyi Mbappe emfiri mu upe players wo mo ye very committed ata so mu desire some man the bobo ko betimi do well abrante di mintintima ye pent no mo ya mo kasa ti abrante ya na mo so manya bocha kakra ho no reporter mpato Jose Mourinho adi aba we dwumadi so ne make etere adi ama na me konta me musiala na Martin Kobaka anota Jamal Musiala akwa his second time. First time woman RB Leipzig and a book game a friendly game and no abranta ne ba no twa here won so na ta yakoso abrantenum another woman hedanian and so book game abranta na san akwa twa na makwa din komo visit ti abrantenum aya na chase wobwahe me de unkoma de baba quickly mame ma ABC games yankase ABC di no ye de aya krade wo fa phone na no dar star 262 has what selected 3 letters what selected 3 letters near ye do no now letter ba kwa piema sika odi twa ya bo hom employment mienu piema ya bon prengotwe miensa piema 200 times we stake na benya sika di ye pa to ne ahodo miensa first draw no pa no ndu ya second draw nwumene nonum third draw anadwo no nkron every 5 Ghana echo ana betime twa bi National Lottery Authority at the stamp no dey so ABC games no aya no am wani so e dey che Alaska Star Enterprise brana bra be siesie wo dem wo me the marble sheet wo me the quality blank curtains aba aroma diffusers wo me the inflatable sofa chairs ring light wo me the bed salams aba wo me the sofa covers in swap PVC floors carpet artificial grass ni P foams no enu bi Alaska Star Enterprise akate Kumansia edum wo me Mrs. Anote Plaza first floor wo me Prudential Plaza na edianim twa enkantudu wo me MTD office and edianim twa wo me number 0256 330075 now na Alaska Star Enterprise entwa di enkomoye pa high sense say factory direct promo no enya babra beto niema ewo makate na if you on the 18th team and me the promotion de ma oba bibia no matete so discount ada so sa promotion na mo ekopim on the 28th of this month and sana promotion so abanabi say air conditioners and refrigerators chest freezers and up watching machine smart air TV lesser one now pair sound system and answer kitchen appliances wo me the nyina bia about 5 years warranty Ghana afana ba bia no mu showroom ho any high sense in nkoma e was 0302550000 na high sense so ahado so e mo be use mobile phone dia ya call dia ano anso ye Franco wo mu phone so mo dia ba na e kama Nokia Samsung iPhones no won sabe kan dia smart TV wo me di bia ba afa wo me di home appliances swapper washing machine microwave blender generators gas and electric stoves and afa wo me di Franco TV swapper ade abako enese wo ko Franco akatia wo me di CCTV cameras swapper Kumansi adum ajaba Joes in Chaho store back or Talambu shop Pubenyobo Kufok and the community of new creator when your Franco numbers 0245316969 when your Franco trading enterprise wamu sweat map or Matauba and pay wamo elsewhere now Mammy Quentin Musera story no so now up the time in second year another and Central Folk will be some Max Sebel sir Abrantano Seniosi to Chaweno Bayan Fone ya aware na but Bayan woman director say woman ya aware Sabrantano will problem at us any given time biano Abrantano betimi a chahe and then training be sounds okay papa so we are aware and ya dia na maye edia fa ho and on sit to my fa no many Jame Musiala and so akasa and on bisa say na sa no Jame Musiala mbema na koso asia kan ana and enti na mo ma Abrantano nya ball ne bo ano say Jame Musiala nkasa betwetwem na Jame Musiala after that no wono so atwetwem de ato no property abade fa Jame Musiala fama me na Abrantano nyame anim nie medical cartos on 2 occasions against RB Leipzig and against Hedenium and one time na yebisa Jame Musiala sadie na etona was say absent Caesar ana chese ehano anon eno na emane collapse ana yebisa say eno no edempa potempa edempa na ekoso ana so condition bi awanya na treatable won betime treat no amana kom but am pempen ya ka say the temporary eno ya dia aba be kan hom na enye se bia onhwe enka ho asem na o se neurological dysfunctions eno na chese ehano ana yebisa say neurological dysfunction ya okay ede na ede ba no so in fact expert a diagnose no what the doctor fatna say amamata say ade no utimi twiti amane kode but at time one so football na ni tiwu ye pa so no Jame Musiala ebe jai football no atia afia ansa no watwiti ne de wase ono no onya na adwen so obaye ne sam ento ne Bayern fa kasa ama Bayern fa so atiase sa ene sa no dinama ene afie kra yase timi ba na tesa Abrantano no watwa hwe na ja yaman so park so oye training kra eno so ebetimi asi Abrantano nchemu a wode maye no enti sa wase so osi akan na se esi enya ade ehu emo obi ansa dan so na temporary ade ababa kan ho ene bato mo ani di German Bundesliga ana fe the German national team and after Abrantia wono Jame Musiala no munka hu Sabrantano empempen de so si aka obetime twawe at a point in time bia no reporter men say kan waduma de so ene medi ema what say ono ade ba ko beka say Bayern for support no and after the family wo mo support no say the medical kan o trust we betime resolve this situations ni na atime abo no wa clear na watime si aka ye pa na menya ade ko he say ade na wo ɔka ho asɛm no saa neurological dysfunction no ɛdeɛ ne ɛde pa na yɛse ɛyɛ disruption a ɛno ɛba ɛyɛ o brain spinal cord ana afei wo nerves no sɛ ɛnsɛne signal ana afei ɛmprocess signal no batɔ yɛse shorted wɔ hɔ ɛnti saa deɛ no ɛba a ɛtumi ɛma wo sɛ wobɛtwa hwe na yɛse saa wowɔ saa problem no a nneɛma ɛde pa nie yɛse yɛ pain ana bɛte ɛnti wobɛhu sɛ sɛbio wo ti ɛpae wo migraine ɛno bi ɛtumi kyɛw afei wobɛhu sɛ wo ko akyi ɛne wo sisi akyi nyinaa yɛ wo ya ɛnti gyame mu sɛ la ɛnam hɔ no mpatɔ pains abrante no fam no yɛse saa deɛ no nso wonya movement issue ɛno nso ɛba muscle weakness ana afei ɛba no sɛ stiffness a wobɛhu sɛ body no ɛne wo nsa no anka sɛ wotumi ka toɔ no wontumi nka ntoɔ afei nso wontumi nante ana wo balancing ɛnso ɛfiri hɔ ɛno bi na ɛno ada ɛto akoda no afei sensitivity ɛyɛ changes yɛsɛ ɛba saa wobɛhu sɛ wo nsa no womfili wo nsa no ana wobɛhu sɛ na wo nan no ayɛ sɛ deɛ a ɛntɛtea bi nam wo nam na wo nan nantene ne ade yɛsɛ no bi na ɛto abrante no asa that no so cognitive yɛsɛ ɛma wo hadwe no bɔ stiff wodwene nsi so yɛka asɛm kora kyɛw a wo wura tumi fi but saa nneɛma no na abrante no de gyame musiala ɛnso ɛfam ɛma ɛnota abrante no so collapse yɛ a ɛno yɛhwɛ yɛ agya wɔn ɛne abrante no ɛnso di ho nkɔmɔ a yɛkyɛndi no na ano na yɛsɛ professor baako ɛnso ɛwɔ ɛyɛ yɛsɛ wɔno na ɔyɛ head of ɛyɛ neurological ɛwɔ university hospital kyɛ sɛ ɛwɔ Germany na yɛsɛ ɔpanyin wei wɔno wɔma akontakte no ana ɔmu bi san sɛ deɛ to gyama mu sala no wɔn metimi ahwɛ aboa ama abrante no yɛ okay na ne din de professor Christopher ɛyɛ Christians na panyin si nokra adeɛ no timi treat ma ne kɔ na ne treatment no mpatɔ ɛnya ade tie ya asɛm ɛbɛkyɛ kakra ansa na adeɛ no ɛbɛtimi akɔ but ɔpɛ sɛ ɔnya the medical report ɛne diagnostics na abrante no kɔyɛ no na watimi ehu sɛ saa ɛyɛ neurological dysfunction no yɛwɔ ne types bebree type deɛ ne ha abrante no no ma hwɛ timi aboa sɛ ne bɛ gyama mu sala wobɛtimi ayɛ okay no no so timi asia kan enti sɛ mahu sɛ anasɛ mate sɛ gyama mu sala atwa hwe 2 times a mepato reason tia ama abrante saa deɛ ne tom na na no pɛ medi mu nkyerɛmu enso ɛde aba mepato abrante ne deɛ de toy parrot reporter men sa kan yɛ sɛ wɔno nso ayɛ player ɛdema AZ Akma na Womni Betis, Akasawe ma Betis Bobo Kono, Woman Rich Agreement 17 million pounds and years cap. Woman Swag Grabrantan, Tinade Toy, powered Baby Siakam, and the Amman so Kobaka Quene. Now me quite so say. Numa kodin komo kakwa tose na Jo Pedro tose amani new contract na tose adia man na to 2032 akwa bebo tose atep enti se we team na wodin Jo Pedro hu ana why wadwen so beto abrante na ebo abodin power because tose nyom adwen so mu ja koda no amana ko ba bia enti we player we eye team na okate eye wo players ne se we the player for ba na we hu some pato ene usika no bia wo kra ba 200 $1 million ana what ma ba fa brante no now our history back so make for Ghanaian player na abrante ani dinadi abrokwa Emmanuel Abroka make say wadon so atwane Savia eye boboko yase oye first ever Ghanaian wobko kosia kan edema Savia eye boboko na tese wadon so eye dwuma ni nyinante akoda no eye dwuma no at the age of 18 akoda na enya enso san wone eye opanya ni din ade Daniel Boyfio wadon na oye ni agent ntiano ada omakosa ne kabakaba ama tese sia no ko Savia abranta ni dinade Emmanuel Abroka ebesia kan ede amom ne contract no to 2029 ano aye reporter total e wodwumadi so ene anopa me ka che kakra ade ma Jose Mourinho enso din koba kakra ye bisa so pen na wafra Belua enya Belua kasa na wafra Zabi Alonso ano nso akasa na Masa Madrid ne de na nso Madrid na obeye ne first na nya sa na chi no so ade ba ko betimi akane obaka so panya ne tinade Avela Belua ne Zabi Alonso wo mo nso ape with their blood atese sa de na eto mo no ne ne kwanse eto mo na oso ma pay the price which nanka eno mo nanka se de so bo ne de bo mo esanse factors ama Madrid eni no enye coach asem nko ana enye players and some kwa was it team ni nyina enter team tesem painful ni nyina ka ho bi was so nyina na fairly club no ama last season ni ade team and the Real Madrid and man ko yan fam mo enti obi kan vela belua ana fe zabia seba no manya bo track akra esanse enyo mo pe sa Madrid ni eto mo no so to me no reporter eba ewo dwumadi so ne ye ka che kakra adama ani ebisa Jose Mourinho said dia de papa say mo benya sin players na players ben na mo be sin show mo ano se enka mo bianta say ni team no yo okay Madrid team no squad na ho no jobi edi was so mo solution no mo players and he say bia player we pra yemfa we nsema Madrid dia Jose Mourinho kan e ento ya Madrid this time pato Jose Mourinho say mo solution to mo problems ana mo players enso ho and tinkoma kakra ne wasanso wo tidie players ni mti anya dia say one bear signings bia no yankoba mensa e kan wotumade so na Manchester United and Raya ana mbeka tam sa yase Manchester United say in finfio so mbe sign player bia ade say player wo ye game changer atese wono no danso ene say Manchester United te eya medasa bra no mama mo kra so da bi wo mo de o nya sa ne ma no eno ada metia yase o makọ Brighton and Hove Albion ade 70 million euros akom 70 million na Manchester United de coin no 5 million akan ni nyina no akoya 75 million euros why no mo pe no mo so mo pe Carlos Baleba na abranta ne no mebo Manchester United buboko reporter men say kan say 75 na there say team and de Brighton and Hove Albion ebenya de opinion na akoda no so atimi apam eba be ye demand de abom na reporter men say kan e waduma de so na the story atwande obi aka wasebe no ada official enya abaso 35 million euros no enya apam e be Son Suzuki the Japanese international from Parma Calcio abranta na pa e no adomo onfeli ne kama ataso no so sign a contract no ene yankoba kakwan so epa e waduma de so na me baba ye Barcelona ene Rodri so we sina German beta ma me mama dro ano ye kunun kana limited o madu po me de apam obi untu capsule ba me dro be ma do so tentem wodun so awoti ya o be mem doctor akato so prostate enlargement and atito wadro e huntu capsule ano aye bako afa o me de mesake so apam ano bo premature ejaculation slow erection will it be to from a great pains and at it were do Mr. Kill and also na beboa be me bia ma bema won so mpaso agudie na niam akoyem wo di araba bazin tabet nsopa and also ye me duro eboa be bia o mensa cycle no e be siesie ni ye moja bedi ni pedwa na frisan ye amopa upu nsa problem bia nso ema wo no mesi ni 0244275429 wo pedodo etwato na tese won so nsa etimi account there na process and plant automation asem kan to se wo na omapa o mo di electrical equipment aba ebetimi abo waduma no se ne be a waduma no harmonization and also betimi akoye pa makato se o plant and also o generator kese ya yusu ya se o circuit we betimi ade ya aduma se ne be ya ene eya wo light no enso en conflict e matter se enko catch fire na sa ne mani nyina na process and plant automation for ade aba make se wo mo di distribution board ade aba wo mo di circuit breakers aba wo mo di solar cables AVRs and normally highway solar packages no edia bana fe your smart home DIY product ni normally aba na omase ban residential areas na hodon companies industries how da kase ni na commercial areas mpato wo me de 100% genuine product and normally man with global brand for obi ani momo ebi ti say cement ebi ti say tent from ebi ti say hiyoke wo me de hello cables eniama ba wo me de festo wo me de highway wo me de data wo me de furnace contact wo me de son of eniama about 5 years want to be bia we beto market we say in a month of August their discount MMTNC kakabi na teche kumasia we do any chemu anso ebo aduma we many UBA bank no and the dem chomo pen mekom ha and from where I was 0200771 okay my main fan say 020077127 and I say 0509554646 na won so ni omo so atimi edi nkomoye pa na omo so atimi aba wo madawroma anope wo so aso asene ne krakrakra no mame nkom na me ba na tese metime wie ni ye enso edi amabo na mame nya sa story mfamabo na abode yenko baso ne na yenya basa aduma no na basa wo kembo ne in fact basa ne ali ana ɛbɔ saa game no na Spotify Cameroon ɛno Juan Air Camper Air Cup ates Barca for di Cambo ansa na impo omabom first game ɛwɔ La Liga nim ti ana saa game no betimi atodwa enti ɛno ada na Barca ewi abrante de Rodrigo Cascante na ɛno na omuye na mami openyin na yehwe de say the happiest man on this planet Earth ɛyɛ openyin ni jende wan Laporta no a Laporta na air defense no ɛne omuye Rodrigo ne sani ni wie no yeso opie ya bebepe na amanfo ɛbɔ gye ne so Laporta and na time apejanensa was munyimutu aduma ni nyina ne aye enti pato openya ni de wan Laporta no was anata o ma ya aduma nani agye pass wo ma na Rodrigo Cascante ma ne be ya aduma no e de ma na satam krona emu aho ana na made den so eye wo mu interview ataso Yose mo wi no tia kunyam ana e bi sanse radio no so just akwa na se akwa nde wono won se da any focus ana e bi sanse Rodri na sane edema baso na yenim say yese nam na madi nkan na basa na mantiman sa brante no ano se no kwa de wiase ba kopɛ wono nkasa twi phone ene Rodri edi nkomo ama oche na brante no project ha wodi ema no waso otrend sika na made da yo madwe se won pese o mede ma Rodri na waso ne Rodri edi nkoma na hu sasa bia kwa na me se na adwe wo fam kakra de ntia meka ne sa ya se Jose mo we no se Rodri no na adwe ne tutu ene no waka sei etena no waka sei wase sabio nipa sabe wano dane a se wadwe no dane de in fact wo mo so Madrid no wo mo player wo ba Madrid da wadwe on tanta so wadwe on tanta wintimi mo Madrid esa se Madrid ne boni ye different so Madrid the flower yes I will come no I will come and I said no I will not come the same thing na koba se be flower ade bete nka munya ye kakra nka mo de mo ntwan kakra Madrid de nka munya mebo bete me ha ade kakra Yose mo we no se homo Madrid no mu ntimi sa de ma no enti wono player wono be fa final won so wo tot no enso kwakoye mienu ni ade enti ane koba kakra so papa no adi tuja ewo dwumadi so atesa no pe ye ka chede ma na amne ye bisa Rodri na nkasa se atama wanya sign e de ma baso na na se na site yesa brante no obie na no so no ne first choice obasa dada so no na wakakra dada nti Yose mo no ma de free afa ma de fokra be ka cha se abrante no kra we pra ado mo dwum pato Rodrigo say one on the first choice na Barca na do be enim dada and be say na dey na ma utu so sad decision no was on ne career in ne career kwa no say decision bi obetake no we guided with sporting aspect akwa we atro said but omunche Rodri say in ne career decision bi obetake no it is guided by the sporting aspect and tinya so free was open and about sign the amount but Madden mu project in the woman no sabe pen and Rodri person watch them and you be sense okay what baba say you okay now and also yan kanta basa phone so you ready even set kwa game ba obetimi abo edama basto na boboko no na ne sadwi no koye na ye sadwi bia na yehu bia ntino basa for mamunso aduma ni nyina obeye de amampato Rodrigo Cascante no na obi abeba pen na me call basa according na marandi nkoma kaka ya say hotel bi e was Spain e Barca environment wa I say o makoko booking reservations na sa reservations na Barcelona for akwako booking Barca for so many agent and e ba betia na agents form no ba betia no o munya no manai o ma hu say akwa ba ko de enya de so beba and yes nkrofo bi to Barcelona for say na wake up no Barca for man hwe bia na se Barca mo he bi pa dia abranta ni de Charles de Catalara akoda no oye good pa se munya akoda no obetimi aboa opia Julian Alvarez na wanya na unya Charles de Catalara obetimi aye aduma ni nyina kama enso de am 25 years na akoda na nya and the Belgium number 9 reporter mensaka say wode ne bo force na wake up no ye aduma ye panti Barca enso he so obetimi anya akoda na na ba ye aduma enso de amama now minya dade ene central for kakra edi nkomo mo mawura Julian Alvarez nkomo no mo say menkanta Barca fan chance ne say 99 no akoda no nya de so betimi aba pato ni amensa kan no ni amensa kan amedi aba ne say 99 no akoda no ontimi na yase top journalist ni nyina kasa brand de ebaya den say obetimi aba this is basona fo kra benya na bija ade say na season say no manya na nkoba kakra nem ana poly market fonso say wo ma yo survey man poly market wo survey no ma ye no kwabra mo so mo survey no mo ye no 84% etes so be caletico market just 13% ana etes be abasa e wo lack say wo betimi aba basona bobo kana ne reporter mensa eka e wo dwumadie so signing ba kwa to dwa Crystal Palace wo makoto Brandon de Xavier Xavier Gozo eba obeye dwumadie amomo afi Aston Villa yeso modi nkobo Elron Wan-Bissaka from West Ham United omo hese we metimi nya kwada no Lothar Matthias ese nka se Bayern de this season wo he players o matoto ne ade a uko Bundesliga na nya de so obi abetimi omo so bobo konso adi nkomo ye pa ateso mo Chelsea Brandon din e de Kevin Koulibaly wo benya from Werder Bremen and the 20 million euros na kwada na ba anso ba be yeduma no edi amomo afi Barca for metiti so mo ko Villarreal wo mo Brandon de Georges Mukutazi yes 70 million euros and no your price e da kwada no so Sabasa for so mo pedia e do mo kofa Abrante no in replacement for Abrante de Julian Alvarez and here 70 million and Abasa so betimi atwa no your reporter e ba e wo dwumadie so na mema Formature Limited wo mo no pro dia ba kama pa wo mo di madedia do e dia ba no ye Lumitras no atemeta Lumifant na wo meboa ekutia madedia mo wani nyina enti wunya bia e be boy pa ye wo ye ne suspension kwada na nom na fimpen for no nom tablet no mo e di baby vice air drops aba na baby vice drops no ene yankuda do essential vitamins ase mu meboa makoda bia ni nyine enso ekoyem ana omede charge of 400 and swaba ye de tunsunsun ase deku benyim mu nyina afi wo mu enso ewo ne nkoda de a eye suspension pain for dem eye tablet na bioglobin shop and the capsule and pain for duo vitamin B12 folic acid ewom ebo ni pedre ni ye pa ama chese obi a wintimi na wakoma bo pede ohunam tutu fatigue ana atu ni pedre na mpato wani so chiniwa we de amekamfo e de ama no Johnson so de etu eye oyawase wo mu ani Follower UK Limited also akabum ekunti na no ahodo makoma kunkron edi abedwaman so emu ba ko ye Follower na memedro Follower man na medro Follower BT plus aboa emani pedwane se Follower Ostrolaf no mpe no ebeye meduma Follower Astro First Plus beye wunti no meduma ana Follower Omega 3 fish oil na be na ne cholesterol mbato Follower Immune Life Immune System Booster ana Follower Platinum Wichimi when also skin ana Follower Menocare ye ma menum pay for madu monopress braso madunie moma monso monsa enkam de and the drug shop will be a menu no pay Formature Limited and a jaba woman message 056 108866 056 108863 na unso etima komumata urmana no pay womo and so as you are confirm so ye kwa ye di update nyina and so e di aba fe anu adwane ayensha your number one account radio station kwabra yemfa ensianum see
anopede meni ajo
say
si ajili no
Carlos Baleba no. Kwabena pa.
Na. O se player be na oboni din wi sa Carlos Baleba no.
Carlos Baleba.
Na di nyankobo.
Ya wetre.
Look, unim say me kai the last time any jet send na.
Ya wetre.
Carlos Baleba.
Ti. Amount for Declan Rice mo munye.
There Rice.
Amount for mo
Declan Rice or Rice.
Na Carlos Baleba de.
Hey, what have made for so ba kan wa. Oh, Andre Santos. Julie Telemans.
What do I say now
about Santos? Bruno Jino manim say eh.
What the mama nkwe ye mate.
Oh, kwat asem pa na me catch no.
Manchester Beji League.
Say who was that team we? You dey midfield we you.
Mate.
Na the Bruno Jino manim a. League ni agin in advance.
Afia me say obesan bosa ko.
Me top for no tilo mam imposu ansa. Me be sisa no. Na unze na Baleba de ni nyanya yi. Because me wura asisi here we go.
Aba.
Oh, yeah. Na Brighton. We didn't catch Brighton for the team back no bobo. If we are say no one Manchester United. So ti ono no camp do ye wie Tetelesta ye wie aduma no. So ya gogo no mind. Tetelesta ye wie hanti Baleba de enye Brighton for no mbosum aha. Na say ye nya man. Ti league ni de am top for mam pusu ansa me wie no ma besesa no. Because the Agile League in advance. Na hon some no insurance of 4.5. And then commonly don't so until join the live of YouTube in Short TV na FL message no bra fi Premier League no emu be de na maka to sa Belmont to the program bia we bia me ba program pa na Belmont niase a na chese wonte WhatsApp so Belmont ede penifo pen kwada pe wo bia mere won nkokoro bia pe enti Belmont to the so program bia we bia make sure say ebi wase to bi ko ho ma ho ni fili uto to bi kofie na ne family ni na no enjoy na bibia nya kama enso famanti program bia ye bia mo amu ye bedin to birthday parties no mani ade nyame nya admo chena sei aminua Clement owo eye finance ho ne papa wa wiki say no na chena no ye de bi enso ye ntia na so no motimi ade bia na bibia na kama enso etimi ade amana etiefo e say a driver for titru a driver for pa a feedie if me person me boa driver ni bia e sanse se car pass ho aye den na ne boa sa aye den no eti for nya asem keto akra enti ma men kanfo aye Filmers car pass center emfama ho wo driver ni na wutie me se o car no aye Uber commercial driver so taxi drivers for anymore a private cars for yi so o car ne baby asay na ubisa price no baby abo na mo bo na ayem sha se show kan ko an waji so ntwibiem odi akuso msrew kofa kan fako aye Filmers car aye pass center okwa katom se Richard say memra na okano se Toyota Corolla aye Vict aye Yaris aye Echo Kia Picanto nom Kia Morning so open home pass a bebre Hyundai cars no fako na yenhwe emfa ema eba aye Forda Mercedes aye Benson Sprinter no Opel Benz C-Class nindina aye adea open ho niema fo ya no mabuya che se yenko biem me kanu krachro spare pass me se yenko biem se so bia mfa na mfa nkyere aye Filmers car pass air center amuka ho niema ne bona fo pa etikoto bi wona kasa me bobo ho aye dawro de kire wo no ozo fa ka no ko na afei amo ema ne pass ne bi na so no efa ko ne bibia nya kama emfa ma enti Japanese car Korean car anase US cars na momfa ho pass ni dina no enkodan aye Filmers car pass air center na bibia no enya kama emfa ma kentin krono nsani ya ho na omo enti fa ko na onso koto to kan ho nyama nyina ufri enkan na oba aye before SLW bomo enambanie 0249 013 177 0249 013 177 namno mo eni komo makacho se MTN ye ba brekum na ye de MTN momo eye first no enso media ba na yabobom ni yebei yede koku smoke ani anwutufo pi na yede come ho na yeba no so no activities ni bebre a vibrant air cashless market with over 50 plus vendors and no so betimi akoso sanso na yebeye a lot of exclusive momo air discount on anyama ebeton ho ni na de here so be download the momo app no our phone so bibia beto bia ade a yetimi ama no so enso etimi ediamantino just download udru eye gate wana de akire na so nso no etimi ediawram na bibia kama ediama bank de eno ane Amanse Community Bank PLC ene mo maka so ho esanse besia aya ade ba ko eno ane obi ade adwuma so ho esikafu ekrom hani na besia no a enti besia ne je anya ni aha me kanu kratro sa wo kwaje besia amane nyewa ni so me kwaje besia bi obi hu me sa me kwaje besia me so anya ni ba kokra na Amanse de etie for de etie nie obaje besia interest rate so ho ha sikabote ne de ka ho no interest rate no ye de en de f pa eda from say tem a che say obetumi atua asa atua sikabote na bra unya problem bia enti anopai o de besia no na anim de okoje a o de beye the opposite of the sikani ye bia kwanda ho kosuchire Amanse Community Bank PLC omama besia bia account ho savings account current account susu account and a fixed deposit account unya bia you are good to go salary worker ko na kwaje salary advance ho na esa no so no afetwitwa na bia enkoye emfa emawo Roman hell omo ho asem ahojo santase sofline and afi the new one ye bi o manso no awo manso kaniago me pacho anu ye new branch amonso etimi alanche ne kama pa 0247200013 utimi no a se etete enti wutena baabia ubedwu tirim sa eyehoa ahoa de ahene pa enti oba fefefe da bia wudu nipam so na ba wo so ha wodu afalefo mu no bonso wo say da wutim na wutiti sa obu akwa sa na to aduane onto so koto amuzo hair food fasa sautinyinim na utina ye ohene ni na no enso enya emfama wo utinyi na egu uti so no so hontie oba onim anyam no utinyi etu utinyi sa asese etete a enso mo ani brepa na so no utimi solve problem no me pacho amuzo hair food e ma utinyi ma ye du na utinyi no enyini ya black na so ho atimi ayefe amuzo hair food make I say ojaso uromo cosmetic shop bia also pa amuzo hair food fa bi sa utinyi na bia enya kama enso emfama opedo sopo etuno akoto amuzo junction awo tafo nhia so ya ana fen awo 0242955056 na mono eni nkomo KNUST senior high school edi enfie 65 years yeti school no womo at the 65 years and you know as part of a year 65 year anniversary no and penifon so share program bebre womo se nyame ya adoma 22nd year and na omode dwumadie no at the exercise so no ma boma akopim on the 30th so and in church say temu na yede kosa na programs so ne bi and say yebe see the streets of Kumasi so na ya ye flow to kakra yebe academic excellent day so and a culture and heritage day indina and community service yebe ye nina kama na bibia so etimi akonkan na dwumadie ne mpompon so na kasa de empenimfo se nyame eya adoma on the 29th which is a Saturday no and amobobo eye dwa tana kesia pa awo eye KNUST campus so na eye body campus wo mo etimi de dwumadie no enso de ahyehye so na eda no so your majesty otufo setu Krowura Basie Minister of Education Honorable Haruna Idrisu Eba and after the Vice Chancellor Edema KNUST Prof Christian Adare women in an better no money atai dwumadi na china adeche and kwesi adana yakọ Thanksgiving near the asedan so no ade akoma eye nyankopon na bibia no ayekama enkyeremu bia ope na odi afa dwumadi ho no na ba phone number 0244 363 na onso wetimi afren wa jinchiremu pi ade accounti oyamadwoma me pa church date ne so na eduru awon so no wetimi awram na bibia aye kama pa ade amawo maka cho se Camel natural selection charge de no na say obia di bi dware so ho ye fa ne je okala odi dware a okala ne ye fa tuntum kokko so ho na ye fe frewro na esen hwamti odi dware wie na opefu nkransa ya good to go wie ya no odi e so atade na pie opie ya so obia bon sampa ho enso e hwampa pa if Europe abrochimem ene da be pie mo Ghana FDA so no agya tum sampa Ghana ni bia obetware amano enye Camel natural selection charger febi dware cosmetic shop bia bi ho anafe number 0243 744 855 what's the diary na edu se esa obodan so dia me kamfo Rockstars Building wamo eniema ni bi na adiama ye man chance papa bi na de akobodan so ho na ayama light gauge premium steel air so ho ha na de yemfa nua modan so bi me kanu kra kire ho enua yemfa modan so bi ye de ne de yema a light gauge premium steel na de kuru so kama ansa na wo ya de chance no a ye de no so de premium coated aluminium and alloy everything na enwe na ache no etinsio ntoma enso soda so ede number 1 number 2 ni so obodan so awie no ceiling ade ba kwa ma dem ye fe pa enso ceiling se POP plaster board acoustic solution owo ni ndina ye be ne kama amefie ho atimi aye fe fo de twato electricals so per socket cables multi-lamp holders bibia odebaya electricals no and so Rockstars ye ma bi no atimi ade aye ofie ho ama bibia aye kama obakumase a ya wadakwada che ya Taifa Junction and Cry off Nsawam Road honso onsa ebetimi aka ne san say wo niema airfo ntino say a contractor for ene eya dance for dina afira for hon obi anso no eton eye ne niema edi free 0544 338042 na mono eni nkomo ena no pena bibia no enso enkoye emfa emmawo na esa honsam no eno no na makatro se open home appliances papa dia say bia o TV asay o fridge asay so o kettle anopai o transan ka usu iron edi ato niam so amfa so people ko en na p phones and access na hodie home appliances for so ya no mabuya che kane okwan na niemen ohwe se yakofa free Europe we kura de US onti ne bo na de omboa omboa na p buy he ono ne niam ofa bi free US ebi nso from Europe on na Canada no ne ade eno de ban so fo enti sa abrem no kasa odi ebowura ho okokuma se aduma eni pagu ho se ya wo moto TV to wo moto fridge to chese niam amanfo twikofie no enya asem kito ani ma de kontia omu ye promotion oto ade a ne de foforo sa ade aka ho ompe na apade enti ko na osokokoto bi na bibia no enye kama emfa emawo ye ton phones enti phone na kuta nso na asaya brebe ma bi ondu sika kura odi etua half na aka no ekire onya ne kakrakra na de kona bibia nso no akonkan edi amana ese bibia no enkoyi mfamantina na pi ye okuma se adum so ho odi abiso bia titru pz na na kosi atuma britain ye ho enka Madina Zongo Dungeon tamale de Ababu station no obisani bibia akoyi adi amam 0533093422 na monomo eni eye enkomo yenkwai na Fifi Manfred enche Madina se emfa emayen ene anope no edien about 10:45. Fifi Manfred, good morning.
Exactly on time, huh?
I'm patron and onto my foul time back cry. I'm patron me too kan. I mean to nka. Oh, what's so? And I want no duty. You know, from Umbra no momentum na. Yamon papa na yanko because and a Nigeria is shimmy muno in. And Nigeria no, and Nigeria name. Was it? Ballet banye player ye. Oh, masa ti Manchester United the new team ti sana beka na yenya Carlos Baleba beka already made for the ekuta ya league in advance league no ya in advance o dey show your Andre Santos mu se o man hu yusu oba na karaka chense Chelsea for me me hwe o ma o nche na nyade o ma hu de we baby en so mu du gina na abobo ni ye du be gina ho Yili Tillemans aba so what I say already Bruno no so ne nam ho a ne de Baleba be ka ho na Carrick de Bruno John manim say ya team men be tua share Premier League ni kofi
no but omunyina
ejuma na si
omunyina technicians. That is the only issue. I can understand that as a Manchester United fan you're excited and United need any rightly so some more money. We buy Jeff more seriously.
Timaido
United Yantubasi.
Timaido brutal.
That is why some people are paid to be analysts. Sometimes we have to look beyond fanatics and your excitement. Yantubasi.
Yeah, player na ya kwa kotono. Na be chere player no kwa mfa so ejusu no.
Wonye ija here na out na wo chere Chelsea for the omura no mti. Ana sata na oti land.
Go be say oti dan kitu anim. True.
Sata na oti land. Which Baleba is a top player. He's a very very good player. You can't take anything away from Carlos Baleba. But say all the Carlos Baleba Babeshe United team in CCR, it still highlights the clearest issue of some midfielder. You know? What is the lack of an off the ball sided technician?
The destroyer. No?
Yes. Because Manolo got a pra omo.
Obeba.
Casimiro AC or Obeba Dame.
Ever won Panyo.
The Terebia names wash it now here. Casimiro Matonoko. So there's a need for a destroyer. That is why I thought that Elliot Anderson come on manning easy mercy, especially when Joseph Guardiola was going. There's a need for a proper DM. which United don't seem to have. Yuri Tillemans near Kano, a top player, but he's a number 8, ball-sided, technical player. Ball long range of passing, NBA BMU. Let us shoot from afar and get goals. Tillemans will give it to you. Again, when you talk about to be say Carlos Baleba and Ekaya, he is a more technical ball carrier. It is a number 6 be on more for ball in free deep. No on pushing none him. Mbambe making sure say he'll do the box to box job for you. Baleba will give it to you. He's an excellent ball carrier. On the ball, he's one of the best. He's even press resistant. It is Okitabo now, one of the best that you can get in the game today. It can't take anything away from Carlos Baleba. And the experience of playing in the Premier League is as important as everything. Andre Santos Yekeng. Oh yeah, number 8, another 8. That is not suited to playing alone as a single 6. I don't know, but in my mind, it looks to me say Adia Carrick Peso Yeno. And in all of these things, I will only analyze, but with time we'll know whether it was successful Carrick plan. And so Manchester United need to beside me say, what do I think is the plan of Carrick? It looks as if Michael Carrick per se or dominating possession to the extent that he will have to use more or less like something like what Hansi Flick episode. You press aggressive from the off, as a unit, and not dependent on a proper 6 that will do a lot of coverage of ground. But the other must add a Premier League in the Champions League they can do this. But the Premier League, where you have a lot of DMs that will be very physical and you play every 3 days, no, the physical strain on players then are problematic. That is why even in the wisdom of City, say Rodri Bettina after the ACL, there was a need to add a proper 6 to him, who is more or less like a destroyer. And yes, RH, you have to go into the photo to say Arsenal. Who say Arsenal have Declan Rice or number 8 of a sort, but Declan is also very physical. It is Obo Martin Ibanez will be Mendy. Now about Declan Jan in China, you've not lost anything because Declan will do a lot of physical work for you. Even Budok Genome didn't have a Crampori can do a lot of physical job for you. Mikel Merino, the physicality is there. So that is my only worry about the team. But my thought is that so I'm sure the Michael Carrick person with because 65 million euros is a good bargain. Whether I like it or not, Carlos Baleba is experienced in the Premier League. And the money down so in a lot of midfielders that he is one of the best ball carriers in the league. Forget BBR. CSA, Bono, United, Press United high. Ne midfielder Bakumbefa. Now on walking through the blocks. On turning for Bono. He will go. This way can. That Shimeru type. Yeah. Who trying to club Ejibone from him? I remember last season, Chelsea versus Brighton. Which Nakai said butu no still in the boy was going. So he is good. But that is my only worry with our Brighton friend Carlos Baleba and the turnover. Last season goes with Brighton conceding was because turnover almost 2 midfielders now very technical. None of them was off the ball. But I think that said, we okay, we're complete. Oh, we need a destroyer, not yet. Definitely, you have a started season here. You must answer to BBM. Of course. Of course. I say the one destroyer become because more so that they be a complete method. More boy be no one more academy or core Everton. Friend James Garner. I don't know if you've watched him. Thomas Tuchel say on the English Federico Valverde. Box to box, power physicality. I'm telling you, he's brilliant. He was one of the players I was hoping that Chelsea would buy. James Garner, no? And he is from the Manchester United Academy. And I'm a man called Everton. So I don't know. I won't be surprised. And I like the way United for now doing your transfers, honestly speaking. This summer, it's not United for now have realized that Anna clubs a bomber general board. The Manchester United tax. I'm going to say United was car. And to look at how quietly they went to pick Yuri Tillemans. How quietly they went to Chelsea and said Mumai Andre Santos. And then now why Carlos Baleba? None of us saw it coming. Unless those who are close to the deal in England, and it was okay now. Baleba Eba Beko Hodom. So that has been good. Which psychologically, the rivalry between Barcelona and Madrid, one of the big parts of those two clubs. So for Madrid and now for Barcelona, there is as much psychological battle between the two as there is on the field of play. It's yes, Barcelona and Madrid match. One ebeshe. Sa battle no. it goes on between the two clubs psychologically, and it is because for a club, based on both of them, baby who as formative or a chum from a free based on Omankasoma ideologies now, it sets the tone for that. Rich, the people from Blaugrana, the red and blue of Barcelona, Almufi Catalan area one, they've always felt that they are inferior, and I say they are treated as inferior to the fascist Madrid. Now, Madrid is the capital of Spain. And one of the Spanish king, let's say, that is where they see them as okay. That is why the Madridistas call themselves the kings. For the Catalans, even to today, in geopolitical conversations, they are fighting for some independence. Players beat to say Juan Garcia no Obama, the Catalan national team, after whether he was going to play for the Spanish national team, he went on there. Obama Espanol. For them, they've always felt that Madrid for something. And it goes beyond football. Football is just a representation. And they can channel it through without being aggressive or it's being illegal to them. So, when you go back, now Koshesa, Luis Figo, movement between the two clubs now. Rich, up to today, Luis Figo is seen as a traitor to every Catalan. And Obio, again, on your documentary being shared, go and watch Luis Figo. It's on Netflix. Up till now, Ubisa Florentino Perez in that interview says that's not Luis Figo ni Mubi. Up till now, Luis Figo no ni Mubi. And the agents na call his cano, and he had to go. What's be that? He said he didn't know. I said no, holiday. And then the agent friend in San Cano. Now the agent no Florentino Perez are down for. Florentino says that according to the agent, Omukachi said Luis Figo ni Luis Figo came there. And so the way I'm Madrid for any G so no man Luis Figo fi Barcelona. It's further emphasize the fact that for them they are kings of Barca. Rich, we had it. Said maybe now Madrid were the sole candidates for Rodri. The analysis was that Rodri Abobo on the 30, 31, 32. Oh, Nini. Pep Guardiola no they call England no every ho. So baby obekono ben nebusiafo. Of course, or Spaniard. He had played his first. In fact, when he broke onto the scene was at Atletico de Madrid. So for a lot of people, the connection of Rodri to Madrid was glaring. In this obesa go back to Spain. Na senya Atletico. Na senya the boy club. Then he has to be team for the football club of Madrid. And I don't pay. Jose Mourinho say. Only Rodri didn't come on. No, only Rodri didn't come on. He realized that there were doubts in Rodri's head. Rodri said, "We may generate kakra, mummy time kakra, or the yensha de kakra." So he say, for a club like Madrid, you don't have doubt or double think. Or say, according to him, say Madrid the flower. You say that okay, when should I come, and you come. You don't go and think about it. Rich. And Barcelona for 1 year or more villain. They said that the best has joined the best. And when you listen to the story from the Athletic say Rodri was close to joining Madrid. Now down for no free Barcelona be here Manchester City. And no all year a wedding back in Spain. Now Rodri free the holidays or Koyeno because na down for Pep na head in the Barcelona, Manchester City, and all come back because on all a wedding or Kubi. He booked a hotel. It was that hotel, and Abasafoni take advantage in that single wedding, and told him that chief. Now Pep baby Bobo, the style of playing is similar to Pep Guardiola. Then it is here. Rich, there are report that Pep Guardiola munya di omano to mubi. So if you choose between Madrid and Barcelona, then choose Barcelona. Whether Jose Mourinho likes it or not, whether Madrid is bigger than Barcelona or not, however Madrid is testimony biano, the fact that Rodri Cascante chose Football Club Barcelona when clearly Madrid wanted him and probably would have offered better terms to him as a player than Football Club Barcelona, no, psychologically Barcelona have won.
And who any reason to am to choose Barcelona? Yeah. Spot on.
Yeah.
Also no, the decision no. Simple, based on sporting. ono Rodri no the style of play team ben or kwa or few so be fit in simple it's Barcelona or slotting into the Barcelona team
exactly
meaning reason to say now say Madrid for no am I pissed I don't know.
And there's a catch-all. For them, Madrid is the biggest club in the world. And forget tactics of whether he will slot into the sporting one. Rodri, Ballon d'Or winner. World Cup near boy ain't and Rodri is the best player in the World Cup. For those two clubs, say me the best club in the world. Then I want the best player at the World Cup to play in my club. And it is something that Barcelona have lost for years. When was the last time a Barcelona player won the Ballon d'Or? When was the last time there was a Ballon d'Or player in the Barcelona team? Barcelona team says nobody has won the Ballon d'Or. The closest has been Lamine Yamal or podium, but nobody has been there. Winning the World Cup and then winning the best player at the World Cup gives Barcelona a player or an institution. He stands there and represents the top creme de la creme. When he speaks to referees, they will listen. And psychologically, Barcelona have won that warfare. Whether Madrid for agree or not, whether we a better club than Barcelona or not, they have a chance to prove it on the field of play. So Mumi and Nuko share in those El Gran Clásicos. And I say in the fight for the Spanish La Liga and also in the Champions League, Barcelona for can now fight and prove. And Madrid for can now fight and prove. Some are better than Madrid. Okay. And yes, Arias in terms of everything they have won. Rich Jose say the team is set. Now, no, when it comes to say, you Messi, I can say that this way to Barcelona. No,
memoir be part 2.
Oh, me Trinity Prep. Now, Jose say when you look at his team, everybody is ready. Only the time Mbappe Babe say he wants to play. He reported to training very much on time, even way before time. Jose Mourinho Nankasa, he spoke to Vinicius Junior and said, Jack, the only place you know is Madrid. Now, when you move away from echo different club, one here, Rich, you will not get Rich. You will not get a different club than football club Real Madrid. Difference no. Let us stay and get a job done, which is good. Which finally, me see amount. For me, Blue Co are doing things right. And if Blue Co a club, I am man or a lot of pressure and Chromo Tony.
Blue Co no.
Yeah. Lookout Street until let's
never Blue Co store in a tour, mammy. I'll tell you, okay, meaning Komakitu na area emfa and to ascertain from Pamcho media pomudun komokakra yenia pomudun komokakra bi na area a part 2 of the discussion will come na emfa anwie dwumadi no amanene emfa emamo obapa good morning.
Good morning.
But I want to say
Pacho nyame adom hoye pa
nyame adom ye de nyame ase pa entiemwe agan no pa no minimatiefo nyina no yetimo
yo Richard no pay there mama na wase e wa kwanya soronko asabre wo de ama me se me metena se na me ne etiefo nyina so entumi enche ya pomudin ho ensempa na anopay there me de nchia soronko afri Pemsan Company Limited I am cover by a Dr. James Samoa enchen e de metiefo nyina sabre mi bisasa wa wo tie me no wa pomudin etesen wadaroma bomoden na ma wa pomudin ho hiaw prioritize wa pomudin mesrel na sa wo prioritize wa pomudin so dia e ma wo rain free say wo de Pemsan herbal products no and e be prioritize wa pomudin Doctor enam ninim de so e de enuro bebre no a e na aba adwama so ne sante ne sa wote Pemsan Company Limited a na we hunu say wadru the home of authentic and quality herbal drugs I Michelle wadaroma no pay enupa doctor de aba adwama so no emu ba ko enam ne wo ba be ka ho asem na nya aduro bia say agan herbal mixture and then the capsules a winim na mensuminim no eno ho asem na ye ba be ka anopay wadaroma Michelle sanya medical ya bisa mesa bisa biem sɛ wapɔmuden no ɛte sɛn woyɛ obi a sɛsɛi sɛdeɛ wɛda ne mu taa yɛ nwunu kakra bi a na nsuo no ɛtotɔ no nti ama wo honam nyinaa yɛ wo ya anaasɛ mpo agyae wo ahotutu a ɛnea wadaroma ɛdwa mekamfo ɛde ama wanɔpɛ yi ɛyɛ agan herbal mixture ɛne ne capsules no wonya aduro yi bi na wo no mu a ɛbɛboa wo paa ama wo honam no ɛyɛ wo mmerɛ wo honam no ɛtutu no ne nyinaa nso so ɛbɛgyae ɛsiane sɛ aduro yi ennuane nnura ahodoɔ pii no ane wɔ mu endorphin ahyɛ ne ma afei phytochemicals nso so ɛwɔ mu na ɛnam sɛ endorphin ɛyɛ adeɛ bi a ɛtumi ɛsɔ ɔyaw ano paa nti no abere bi a wawo bɛhunu sɛ wo nipadua no ɛnam ɔyaw soronko bi mu no wadaroma bɔmɔden na ntɛm so kɔkɔpɛ agan herbal mixture ɛne ne capsules no bi ne no ma me ɛsiane sɛ wonom a ɛbɛboa ama saa honam yaw no a wo honam no yaw ya no ne nyinaa ɛbɛgyae ɛsiane sɛ endorphin no ɛwɔ hɔ sɛ ɛba bɛboa ɛde saa adwuma no ɛyi saa ɔyaw no a nipadua no nam mu ne nyinaa no ɛde afiri hɔ afei obi wɔ hɔ a ɔno nso taa complain sɛ ne nsa ɛne ne nan nyinaa yɛ titiritii ɛyɛ die ntia poor blood circulation ɛna ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ wo nipadua no mu kyerɛ sɛ wontini no anaa wo veins no ne nyinaa mu asisisisi ɛne nti akɔba ne sɛ mogya ntumi nni afuru sane yie ɛwɔ nipadua nim sɛdeɛ wɔ sɛ ɛyɛ no na ɛba de saa nso deɛ a na kyɛ sɛ da biara ɛbɛma wo nsa ne wo nan ayɛ titiritii ɛde stress nso bɛba abɛto wakoma no ɛne duro bɛyɛ ne akoma no yɛ adwuma no so nyinaa afei wobɛhwɛ sɛ bi mpɛn pii no wohyɛ mpaboa koraa ɛyɛ a wontaa mfiili mpo sɛ wohyɛ mpaboa ɛtɔda koraa sɛ bi mpaboa no bɛfiri atɔ anyɛ adeɛ a wankasa wobɛhunu sɛ wamfa w'ani anhwɛ wo n'ase ehu sɛ oh me mpaboa no na aroda hɔ no a anaa obi mpo amprɛ wanka bibi ankyerɛ wo a wonhu hwee ɛsiane sɛ wontini no emu asisi ama mogya enni afuru sane yie wɔ nipadua no mu enti ama wankasa no wonhyɛ da emfeeli certain parts of your body mesrɛw adwo a mekamfo ɛde ama wo ɛyɛ agan herbal mixture ɛne ne capsules wonya aduro yi bi na wo no mu a ɛbɛboa wo ama wontini no a emu asisie no emu bebiebie efin bia akwa klogi ana akɔhyehyɛ mu a ɛnu nti no ama mogya no entumi nni afuru sane yie wɔ nipadua nim sɛ deɛ wɔsɛ yɛ no wonom agan herbal mixture ɛne ne capsules ne bia ɛbɛboa ayi saa fin ne nyinaa afiri nipadua ne mu na afei ama wontini ne mu abiebie na emogya atumi adi afuru sane yie wom wakoma ne nso bɛbɔ adwuma kama ɛbɛboa ama mogya no atumi akɔhyehyɛ all the vital parts of the body akyɛ sɛ honam akwa no obiara bɛnya mogya no bi sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a wo nsa ɛne wo nan no ɛnkɔnkɔyɛ wo titiriti biem mesrɛ wadaroma bɔmɔden na kae sɛ ɛyɛ agan herbal mixture ɛne ne capsules ne nko a ɛne bɛtumi adi saa adwuma yi ama wo na mmom wadaroma anidie kwa so wo nsa ɛka aduro yi a mesrɛ wo ɛmfa wo pɛ ɛnnom bɔmɔden a ne frɛ yɛn ɛwɔ numbers a yɛde ba bɛto dwa yi so sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a wonam saa kwan ne so ɛne doctors no ɛbɛdi nkɔmmɔ na wɔnom akyerɛ wo dosage anaa ɛkwan mpo a ɛwɔ sɛ wofa so no maduro no sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a wo nso so wobɛnya wayaresa ama bibia nso so atumi akɔ nkan ɛde ama wo nipadua no numbers no ɛyɛ 0500 88 90 anaa 0500 88 30 mesrɛ numbers a yɛde ato dwa yi emu bia wobɛtumi afrɛ sɛ siɛ a woba pa mete ha mekasa yi wobɛtumi afrɛ na wɔne doctors no ɛdi nkɔmmɔ afa wapɔmuden ho wofrɛ a mesrɛ wo ɛmfa bibia ntetɛ bɔmmɔden na ka wapɔmuden ho haw nyinaa kyerɛ wɔ mo ɛsiane sɛ wɔnom na onim de a wobɛtumi aboa ama wo nso so wanya ano yie ɛwɔ wapɔmuden ho sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a wo nso so ho bɛtɔw na afei watumi akɔ wo nnwuma so akɔyɛ deɛ wɔsɛ woyɛ wadaroma obi wɔ hɔ a ɔno nso so ne deɛ yɛ menstrual pain anaa menstrual cramp mmaa no abrɛ a sɛbi wabu wo nsa anaa wakɔ mfikyire no wotumi hu sɛ wote ɔyaw soronko bi excruciating pain bi a kyɛ sɛ wankasa no wontumi mpo ɛnkyerɛ aseɛ wadaroma bɔmmɔden na kɔpɛ agan herbal mixture ɛne ne capsules no bi na nom ma me ɛsiane sɛ sɛ wonom agan herbal mixture ɛne ne capsules no ɛwɔ berɛ a sɛbi wakɔ mfikyire a ɛnyɛ adeɛ a wobɛte ɔyaw biara wɔne anidane biara ɛnni twa ka afei sɛbi wo a wo mogya fin no ɛntumi mma yie no wonom agan herbal mixture ɛne ne capsules no a ɛbɛboa ama ne nyinaa ba abɛsen akɔ na afei wo a wo nso so wo deɛ ɛmma koraa no wo deɛ mesrɛ bɔmmɔden na kokope agan herbal mixture ne capsules ni bi na se wonom a wa wo behunu se sebi wo bu wonsa wo moja fin a entumi ma no ba beba pa oya obi anso so eni akire afei minuanom nso a da ne da mota complain sa makoma ebo mo peri wona nte ko ha ne hasima ba akokra na wo te so saa no mesre kokope agan herbal mixture ene ne capsules ni bi ne no mame esanse se wonom a enam phytochemicals e wo aduro ni munti no ebebo wakoma ne ho ban ebebo duro ban ani akoma ne ye adwuma ne nyina ho ban na afei aboa asiesie immune system no ama na ye strong said ye be ya wo betumi akɔha ne ha a enya ade a wo beti subiem enya ade a wo be pa atwere bibi na wahome saa ansa na watoa akwantuo ni so mesrɛ da bi bomoden na kɔpɛ agan herbal mixture ene ne capsules ni bi na no ma me said ye be ya bibia betumi akɔso e de amani padua no afei minuano mo ma ene emema nso asabi matenka ewuo low libido etete mo no munso mu die nie agan herbal mixture ne capsules no ena me kanfo e de ama wadaroma bomoden na kope edro yi bi na edro no entumi emoa ewo mra sabi wo ne wodofo bi ahia na wo pese bibia etumi kwana kwan so ede ma no bomoden kokope agan herbal mixture ne capsules no ekira kwan said ye be ya wo betumi age with 3 points a enkonkofa animguasie bia so so emrel na mom hyane nso mame sa won saka edro no a wo be frɛ yen ewo 0244 718 557 ana 0244 716 557 Mr. Wadaroma number si bomoden na frɛ esanse eye wunti ana doctors no wonom abie wo mapno edi ama wo fra bomoden na ka wapomuden ho haw nyina fa kyerɛ wo mo said ye be ya wo so betumi ama wo ho nimdie na afei wo ma kyerɛ wo nneoma bi a wo bɛyɛ de aka ho ene ekwan a ɛwɔ sɛ wo so wo fa so eno maduro no afei wo a wo so wo de ye tipaye da bia da wo ta complain sɛ wo tifa pai wo pa enya asɛm ketwa wo si wo trase ya asɛm wo ma wo tri so ya asɛm a agan herbal mixture ene ne capsules no ena make am for ma afei wo a wo sisi ye wo ya na wo te oya wo shrunku wo sisi nim na enam so kra kwa kwatwe sciatic pain bi e de abrɛ wo no wo so wo de eye agan herbal mixture ene ne capsules adaro makopa dre bi no man na wo so wo sisi no a emu ayemre na sabi wo kotokra na waka fom no ntimi nsɔre no kopa dre ni bi na nom sɛ de be ya saa oya wo a wotini wo sisi nim ni nyina no ni nyina so ebetumi aye a thing of the past na enroyin so ye dom na ye dream ho ntino ya to apete Ghana hafa na ba bia all pharmacies, chemical and herbal shops are doing in emu okwa wonsa ebetumi aka agan herbal mixture and in capsules nibi na wo dia show how far na mum kumase ha wo pani dodo mu dia fa wani kyeremu ewo PFA pharmacy a e waterfall New Road Junction wokwa dodo bi a wo panu PFA ebenya edi amount afei Colina Herbal ewo Ashtown Freddy Mens and Rock Pillar Herbal nanso ewo KO Dani Farmer enso so ewo KJTM room okwa wonsa ebeke no paybi afei wo Cape Coast afa wani kyeremu ewo Pina Herbal udru Pina Herbal aso ya agan herbal mixture ene ne capsules no dodo bi a wo panu wonsa ebetumi akabi wo ho Mr. Wadaroma wo Tachiman Ashaiman downtown anase Kaswa New Market dia wonso fa wani kyeremu ewo Humble Mother Pharmacy wo kɔ hɔ a wonsa ebetumi aka enupa bi na sa wo enkran so dia ene Okaishi Drug Lane honomo a eye Repash Ventures okwa Mama Repash enro no wafa ne ve ne santi agan herbal mixture dodo bi a wo pɛ no wonsa ebetumi aka bi wo hɔ afei mon hya ne nso maye sa Pemsan Company Limited yeni herbal hospital bia ewo be bia na mmom enche kra doctor ebebo modenya apa Pemsan Herbal Clinic no ehontoma sɛ de be ya ebeboa me ene wo ya pomuden amanetumi atumpon afei enkane pre-care natural powder no a na free Pemsan Company Limited ya so ye ebe adwama so no sesei ebi ni hobiem enunti ena doctor ede agan prekese garlic mixture a eye one of its kind eba be hye na nan sɛ de be ya bibia betumi akoso wano ede ama ye nipadua no Mr. entena se ema yade enka wonto ho bomoden na efra yen sesia ewo 0244 716 557 ana 0244 718 557 wunim dadan so se agan de etosin Richard me da sepa
okay yenso yedama se agan dro no ɛho adanse ne bi ɛda ɛde ama m ti ya na nso no akoto bi no am na bibia no ayɛ kama ɛde ama mo yɛntoa dwumadie no so ɛmfa ɛmam sɛ sɛ ɔmmerɛ na 11:13 insurance 4.5 messages kakra unsolved case book. I said, I don't even know why Fifi has turned his back on Carlos Baliba all of a sudden. And man, because we Juni, auntie, at the Pebie bar, Juni, dear, or Bepeso, a becco, so all of a sudden, no bones a first and no bonabaso, I feel about Manchester, no. As well, kind different story, and man, and because we Juni, why? Okay. I say Fifi, but Real Madrid doesn't also have any Ballon d'Or winner, and no one has gone closer in the last few years. Okay, and so message out there, Abe, and then Anope, and no Jude Owusu-Bafo. Good morning.
Good morning, Rich.
Now what you saying?
Nyame adom and also.
Nyame adom. I don't know call Parliament.
And they say me general
MP.
And me general manager Nefree GM one
Oh,
Godfather.
okay, I see.
Ira Jimmy Agla.
I see.
Let me take you over and
I see. Then when me see.
And free hand I call home session. Godfather be dancing bra.
Okay.
Yeah, Godfather.
Okay.
General manager.
Na me ni pay dem ze nanu ye ika o.
Eric
Tinkler. As we say na no go.
Enu ana me ka asem bi o. Na me sense subio. Hwe Mosi se mutemi wild dog a obaba be dey. Mo pese ne kapa, mo kon bi on fa so ne ka se oye se bi kraman, oye no ayi bi a odane baba be we o meboa. Rich aya mo ye foreign a metie pa o. Metie foreign ne pa. Fifi wade bi otaka na emede. Aya no aka culture meboa. Oka proper orientation no aka culture. Rich me chira ade bi. At least nyame adom radio ni enya 20 years yenya wo. Ye were experience bebre. Ye were community bia na kwen fa so ni omo daily. There is one thing about ye kromu ha. Ye beka chiro say akra ne panyin nya asem a udi for.
Akra ne bedi for.
Obedi for. Now secondly, ye say katawona adeja so meboa. Se obi amanone
na yensi yentuma gofi emfa hata bonten
nyame nsraw
na wiase ni na hu sese bi wonu hu
bro nyame nsraw he se obi amanone o na otie show and show ade ba ko amepe no me appreciate yen viewers ni so much almost eka ho na ba bia ye de show ko no ye de ko into da bia no ye ready so be appreciate the sentient views bro obi o amanone no o the stadium crowd for no more atena bruchache no kro mo ba ha no mo suni o mo ba different said the o mo come mo nsem said the o mo yom bibia understandable ti obi wa ma no ne na everything like asase ya no e kotoko fan kra na mini problem metena se based on the one who ho ne said the o mo yom ne ma no enti onim se bibia no o se e kan said the city but rich oba yen part no mo yen kan some rosa e to da win the truth. Who say enra so obeke am starting me see the Eric Tinkler eka bia nye se enye no kre but okay say me ka say
okay do send be ya obu afa na watini
yes okay
ode afidie na to ya no
okay
me send the first question obu say
there asem na mo
Eric Tinkler there asem biem no asa akoka anope ye kan wasemi enra in fact opening share in Central 4 was being organized by Asantekro Football Club na Ankasa and Oma papa no kushia Central 4 ema mbuso no questions kakra na ninsem na oyi questions ni bia no na obi kobusa na about the pitch in sensem
yes
ombusa no na mpacho said the no ameka na se bi obi ka na wa mo no anka we beka so na wo ka chena no enti ye busa no question no yentie answer I tinkler e dia ma yem pitches a awo Ghana attitude na fi yem family nkomo ni yem fama.
For the players, we want to try and play a brand of football that is entertaining. We want to try and play a possession-based game, and on pitches like this, it becomes very, very difficult. I've experienced that as myself, having been in Africa, in in a number of countries, and this is the norm, you know. So what we can't do is use it as an excuse. It's our reality, and we have to adapt, you know. And the players today showed me a lot of fight and desire to win the game. And you got to find ways of winning that game, even if it becomes ugly, because ultimately that's what it's about. You know, the more games we can win 1-0, the more chance we stand at finishing higher up in the league. Plus the confidence and the morale of the team starts growing.
Okay, and Eric Tinkler, and now Shans and Chofono, and the answer of the mind about Ghana in general, young pitches. So what you open now or say, what African countries be and come here as answer a yard so Africa the abani infrastructure which is pitches na hona players in the so bobo no I say yeah so a year the will be is okay into yamfa money sa I say enye no ba kan okre ozo ba Ghana na ade ba kwa hu say pitches are players gina so see account no enye no say oye coaches na opebo efe we je ball no ato de kwa na we ato de aba but the Ghanaian pitch and as a Ghana yam pitches near boss bono and man intimi mo bono or person bono and yamako to go bono mo bono and ye as a ugly so bono as a way now boom because born intimi top pitch and usuna born uncle person the players in the bono or my team yabon sa and to see yes or jitum so African countries most of them now no kwa pitches are isiswa kind and yet but and also says because or no as a coach in the philosophy and say support be all free ni fear about stadium aba show the Kotoko team as in any team no born no mo born papa na fi yemfa enko yenim dude memra ho na fi yemintio
okay rich me that say me head time ni because enemy on yema me ensa bi ye be kan e dey ye be drop exclusive na e kan one asem and hasen so say one communicate no mo dey FIFA krata no say so mo atua ekano rich eba issue ye ya eda ho dia anka personally mini problem utie personally mini problem I think like I identify a particular problem I work Ghana generally and I all can want them ade betimi aye impediment ediama the ono person or yedema club no mini problem with that. And on the idea generally all can was him. May the first one know how to do with baby and run out in same free bar. And they say young Shana say young coach ni young conscientizing that's at the assembly bar because assassin or cano cray. Now ya queer him no or because I cano cray be and same be him. But what's the point? A be the any see be employing. A drew honor and a support his show there be coach abroso. It all starting ano na match na agency so because whatever problem or kabiano yenim any enkan say nya no kran so be speaking out of context o yenim say sa na tie anamebo yenim yeditum so said you can no do but this is the situation you find yourself in and I will be now so you are aware of the problems hence you also say in granting interviews or say uhu niema abeka any niema ni say woka na behind the scenes no some problems no woman penny phone said about title resort points na say na emu me ma ne nkwa abontene eye no kre rate we be sounds had into Mariano Barreto kan ne de ebeye issue as supporters jai me boa Zito Ankabi supporters enja so be jai even who journalist kra na Zito aka asem na wa carry story ni mpo no ye hu se ompe kotokoye me boa but think like a similar thing there. And only there he is on point. He is right. Eye good. Na American no. Minim say Tinkler say yeah you be one of the most successful coaches I benya. But one sha Tinkler kasa ebe me ebia onche. Obi anya agenda ntia no. Enra na I had every right to say ankame jina Tinkler nsem so afaya kotoko board. Enye sa na o sankame ye. Ene kotoko mpanyin for. So they Tinkler yi nsem na to. Be common sense. I catch me say no. At least you nim same penny for any braces have problems no. Be shut no more resolve it. And to mean sign for munko tight corner. And to me coach they say oh said you're becoming some. But the issue of pages no cray. Rich me no nyina yenim. Enye sa na tie. Your problem with the pitches. But rich me try there. Even Europe, I can crown. And yet, almost pitches na papa. Sometimes me no nyina yetimi even Serie A. E to da utimi hwe. O se and Europa League. Utimi hwe pitches bi no abisa na we na na say Ghana ni Africa e de enye. Rich hu bi da. Yen ka no kre. Ye hu bia. This is what you do. Uti. Obetimi explain Eric. Sani emani nyina wo ho ba ya fu adwuma. So yours is to deliver. Devise a strategy. Reach Upe obeko brekum obeko akwakobo Golden City Park. Only choice obeko ho. Obeko de bibi. Obeko akwakobo game wo ho. Peter wo person obobo so unya. But rich unya no chese results no mfa amaya. You so my point now.
On can't on mama result. But also say the result never ban.
Rich maybe it's na make us tie. Meji ho ni tum. The results never ban any ho. Kotoko bebo how many matches in a season? Oba league obebo say. 18 teams na ebo league no. E chese obebo 34. Obebo home matches say 17. Owi obebo away so 17. So 17 home, 17 away. Umpo. Pages are about ball matches so. And I make sure say you only animal bro form on swabano. As our pages, bad pages. No. And one or more ban and come up a good football. But almost yanisa yet. Almost strategies to ensure say at the end of the day, almost successful. So premise na me di free ba say. Yes, think class you. Me anya say o kan someone maintenance you. Meeting classy plane. Men so be the catch mo kan say before Tinkler officially confirm no. Me analysis about Eric Tinkler catch mo say the Tinkler that I know a good football. Rachel guys say because ask them. Emma make catch say oh no, we are center back or build it from the back. And to the ball no, pesa center backs na mo boom no. And oyebi asa na nko pese sambo no na nko otena. But na a case of too little too late. In fact, o kan ho na hiubejawu entu kwan. Oman penyin 40 ase say hiubejawu ohia branch ni girigdi. Entiminim. But the American say enye se de opanyina na obenya woniema. Rich. And also nkyere say won fa the expected results em. Okay, me person me go good football. Rich. Football na ye bono. What sign players are ya sign. Entini sign players are ya sign 20 and 23 players. Rich. O sign players. Extra baby how could be a venue be any type of players I use. E be any bad pitches so bobo. Utie. E be in bad pitches so bobo. Player be on one ni dey ahun dey buga. Boom boom. Pitch be anso ne baller ye ball so. Enti on say think like as say my baby hu sa problem no. The type of game where be a me person mebo throughout no. Me nya ne sa because make certain pitches are sa na tie standard no level no yen de no ya agi atum ni nyina no club license for agi atum you say ye bobo so how best can I get the results Richmond him so anya me point ni ya and no ni ade also start here ho adwuma me mpese ebeye say e bia ye bo season e bedru baabi me sound the prophet of doom menim say with kotoko talent ho anything class so a good coach na say the person any niam team ni benya the expected result. But me mpese bi e bedru ba bi a results bi e wo say ba no emma no na coach ni dwane akwa kwose sa de na chi say pitches na ye ball so no amwa me enti ma nya sa results no we a coach you need to be dynamic. But just what me point na say even Pep Guardiola edru ba bi expressive football or bono ojai bo last season okay Arsenal and Man City me say game ni bi at a point it was clear say Pep Guardiola on one part the old defender National air ball no or defensive. After say first goal, no, clearly he was defending.
Don't you think say it's high time Kotoko prevented coaches from making such excuses by doing the right thing?
Oh no, bro. Me too.
Because that conversation around on your professional, seeing say certain things protecting the club image, you know, Ababa Beye still excuse. Now, if you are bringing a coach the pedigree of Eric Tinkler, who's locally gone no South Africa, no, at a top level, even as a player, where he was able to get to, and you are bringing him to Kotoko's facilities, na oko unim de ama de ehu pa enra na onjina brekumu excuse me
ojina nkai
no onjina chimoda. He was standing at the University of Ghana Stadium. And like I said, these pitches, because we don't maintain our stuff, and it's high time I be this uncommon in that regard. Whether think like betimi and your players or buga bo brekuma na say ewo techima and say bibisano, that is a conversation for another day. It is high time Kotoko and all the clubs in Ghana. In fact, even the club licensing body, it's high time to close some of these venues. Because for how long? Dude, one shiny year. Me and Bonko crying and me have friend of. Then our kids in our grave will still come and take up this job and they'll say the same things.
Rich. Unsa o kasa my di na me tell sa. Me kan say o refer to Barreto.
Mariano Barreto.
The statement of Bayern will fear ya.
Yes. But no dey have to him swaya adwuma na wie no.
I get your point. You see, Barreto erase that concern. Minimum say nya kroko fans bia and go downward.
With them.
Ama omo. Omo kikan say me bri. Yakwa. How many years ni? Think and so can the same problem.
Rich T.
Regardless,
but me mama adwena about dey bi so. Me no ni fifi nyina anya adwene ma me nche odi enti amene mo nya adwene.
Na ye mehwe ha so no.
Coach no pon kan kire say adwuma no ntimi nye no. No Rich me ba there be me build a point ma senya abotre. Me che odi enti ameka sa. Certain club pon kan kire say adwuma no. Ontimi nye okọ. Oni de enti a. No kra ba ko petinkla ye aduabu. Ma me nka no kra nche asem no kra ntu sebu. Me kire mu de enti a. Mumfa pass ni bibia nto nche na obi anyi na so mu ntie me yie. Rich. Hwe abi ntina tinkla person o raise ya de ko a certain standard. Yenim si ani sika utie. Dia ye wa ani Rich mum yente sa de na se as a sorting class odo. Uja University of Ghana Stadium. Wo say a bad pitch. Yenso dia wa no no e no aso na aba be ball match so. Entity asie say Mamu make excuse for him say for how long? Me to himself for how long? It is bad. We are condemning it. Yenim say enye. Ya kan once more can once more. Enu ntia na me bisa mo say. Enu ntia sinkla all more ball this season here na.
Onkasa.
Right, that be minim so onkasa ti. Enti be say me tell mo say. Sa problem na why they
say is a problem. No betimi a hand ball no so ball and solve problem. What is wrong with that?
Problem. Rich. And you think Lentino overnight kotokosika oni no. Abekwa ko pesi na mo che.
Meba say a drew point be. Na say result no so man no so kasa e pitches na man nya result na. Onzo ba kasa ye mpam na.
Rich meba. Ontimi kasa asem ni nche me judo so.
Ade ntino ontimi kasa.
Ma me nche odi nche me nchi.
Sa wo pro say ye jetum say. De we ni to onfanya adwuma de. Ade ntino ontimi kasa.
Meba ontimi nka ma me nche odi nche ontimi nka. Ne ti asem ni. Me de nti a tinkle ntimi ni ndi sa nkomo ni ni. Oba be fair adwuma no. Oba be drew Ghana no. Ubedru Ghana no. When the state of our pitches. So anyama mienu. Either say okay, I'm sorry. Me kasa ko to come ni mo be adwuma. But based on what I've seen, me sorry. Me come baby. Great what the me na say. I am sorry. It cannot work like that. And now say adwuma no. Keep quiet. Shut up and work. I don't know me so near my society. I respect this coach. Me patin class.
Papa ni nyina baby anka say sick of yem pitches ne enye ntino onye adwuma no.
Or the caveat
eno so nkyere say se bibi nko yem han nka ho.
Oh return me caseti and am nso na monte ma.
Caveat ben no dey at home.
Me city. Think like every right. They all can men me agene no kre. Ye in the state of our pitches. And I make say but my impression say based on ball or person obono. Any pitches na okroma say the city no. BIA who's that type of football no? Dude, as I'm now okay, is it true? It's true. Nobody says it's Jude, I'm surprised though.
Jude, say Asem Tinkler has not said that he will not be able to do the Kotoko job based on the pitch. Tinkler say you don't expect player development. Player development, that is different. Tinkler betting on ball park we so Jiliga Makotoko. But so okay say build players are the top level technical quality
to compete with people abroad, you need to fix these fundamentals.
Michelle, about Tinkler says I didn't bet me affect results. Then about player development.
Unless Ebia Papano, Nensa Nufus or Casabibri, and yes, another no kind of. Also, player development, Obia Oba Park and so Baba Shabo and Ibiana, also Baba Shabo and
nobody saying say it is wrong. You all can on your wrong go. Yes, I'll see your quality pages, good pages. Now, Abuayan players, I agree. But Uti, maybe person me say some pages were so, and also the young players, abo. From Titia Diabo Blasters, Namaya Baby, and yet nobody says it's you. So we'll work on that. But any overnight idea that brain, maybe Utihano, but I'm to interview. Barato, so I interview now because I refrain. Obey no studio already saying 36 years ago. Rich. 6 years ago. And I mean, you fix a problem. What's the debut? Fix a problem. Nyabotre. Okay, problem. Yeah. Problem. Sikakra mo debate you players kakra ukroma. And fa coach no. Rich. So if you so on remember, if you so on ready. So obey your football. Just stop and leave. It's me back. No. Club license and echo baby no moje page 2 ma emi madwuma. And you'll be a club license. But I know the club license in Abbey inspection. Abba shop pitch, but no few say, oh, I'm okay to Omo. Now, coach, we not say, oh, you okay, no chance among Kawas. Oh, you're right. We've had your example. You're not blast house coaches or my back room. Complaining about we know, Richie, at a point, Crano, you're in your stadium, creating media hosting international matches. We know, and you see any minute, because a group of the KVB Bassena say a group of results of ma. What mean, Bomi coach? I want to make a choice. No, what's the matter, David? Say, Papa Nin to me say, pictures in the when for now, no, and only and I'm saying that it is a me better Jude, me better management in my sports. Me buy a microphone as a cousin microphone, I'm out for TV. And you want me to deliver? And you also Jaiko. On cancer, rich and you do the right thing. And do the right thing, but the rate at which Papa no Ede Casano. You tell me, I want to come in Castle be the regardless, you'll be a back of found. But imagine, and I said, you'll be America. Enough of protocol. It's important. No, of course. Now say, Zanka Uja Nanka Utin and me, but was becoming a back and forth. I think that they are Judo Kano. They say Judo Tias say that school of thought is there. Rich, no can say, whatever the case may be, your boss is in Nhyira. Kotoko fans will demand from Eric Tinkler. Good page, bad page, wrong page, whatever page. The nearby to bring the club back to where they were, because Kotoko have won the league on some of these pitches before, which is true. But that's why sometimes you have to agree to disagree and understand that two truths can coexist. Whilst Tinkler is expected to still do his job, we have to understand that, dude, it is long overdue. And you cannot tell any coach anywhere in the world, say, the conversation is not near one. Tinkler has to do his job, he has to win. When we need to fans will go out team, and they are rightly so. But in all of that, and a Jumani Kotoko needs to improve. Say, even the whole Ghana Krana, Kotoko's training pitches ought to be better. And ultimately, can say things like Asado, because this was a Kotoko's own engagement. And Kotoko's own engagement. And he spoke passionately about the fact that you don't develop players here. And now you sat here, you told me that there was a time where foreign clubs wanted to come and buy players from Ghana. Almost go trading grounds in it. And you want good money. You understand? So if you want to get more money and build your club, then do things right. Invest in all of those things. Very, very important. And yes, I did be in the same story. Mr. Mamunfa, House of Folk statement, and to YouTube in Shell TV. Na Yashafoni at for some runner, Omomekan Krata, no, and so be. Krata House of Folk, dear Banny Tintin in it, na say, Ampa, Omania Krata, dear free, a FIFA. HSN Nansay, Omo technical data, Omani party ways. Our man for Papa so don't call FIFA.
sika na so mutua de ma o koye back and forth sa transfer ban e ban say the has omo tua sika no so ampa FIFA e de krata abrom say sa transfer ban na eda House of Oak no after paying Aaron headache former technical director nintino say the kwana dem has and so ebetimi go ahead now whatever transfer deals be on person mi bia no so etimi krata no and eda YouTube initiative so betimi aba na oba be hwe bi na asami ba na say yebisa kwame opara don so no kasa adema House of Bobo eko no yebisa ne say krata yi no kre if you house or an abana confirmation no it is a yinti kwame opara do bra on so kasa dia fa krata no.
Oh, sir, there's good news everywhere. In this situations with FIFA, what happens is that once you settle whatever that you have to settle, the call, and as a legal team, would call, they will have the right to FIFA that yes, this is what has happened. Then FIFA is going to once everything is settled, and they have also written to FIFA, everything is there.
Okay. Kara Prado Ekasadema a House of Folk and other Sanchez Muno and so bound to confirm it. Say Ampa Mania Krata a free FIFA. Once a car now one is Mutuadema heading or Mutuanidia as our transfer ban to see FIFA. I think it's a good news.
Rich, good news, but only my day. May stories be saying Uti. Anna may have no baby. One, set a jam ubetia about school fees. About school fees be piling up, na be kwa kutiano. Untia school fees na mama meja ba so body meboa. It's your duty. Na titu no we de omni obebre na omre. Rich. She sa de we. Aha siye papa. Sa transfer ban no. Transfer ban kroya na nam so. Emma had to folk epamu ni coach so ya we. Because Didi Dramani talent or scout say no person no mo ye adwuma no. Transfer ban nti went me enya sa talent no. Finally had to folk ekokodi third. Has to say enya enough. Wapamu ni coach. They felt that never say uncle ko extra mile. And so anya magician forgetting say there was a transfer ban. Na ni refi. Enti enunti no we're losing one of the finest coaches or the any subri. I take his decision. Yem fine discipline in your been tunche. Based on omo no masem omo kan na ye kun. The omo kan ye no nti omo gina so epamu coach no ene ye ka. Secondly, this transfer ban and no how to folk. And Lucy a key talent when you share one who player aku free ya. Solomon Agbesi. Transfer ban means no. Now say how to folk. I register as an amateur player. Next is only professional contract because anytime I boss say any mienu any my player you buy the registration say amateur one either say empanyim for and me meet deadline also omo transfer no based on that in no player no okọ system no mu enye yi enti okọ system mu enye yi a and you was say secretly no ya ade no so amateur trust only professional contract enti obi baba beto na uni bibia wo ananse wo FIFA ban se transfer ban da so a wontimi nto obetimi aton the reason ti FIFA ne so obetimi aton ne se ayeka na wo de e na opeso otua wo ka enti obetimi aton oton ana de atua ka na emom so obeto de wo de ka enti wontimi nto right what I say enti no e ma Agbesi has a register ne so amateur enu enti no Agbesi aja ha to fo kokko ya wa brekra has enya hwe akwa sign contract player what projecting amanako even World Cup anko betimi asa nkwan power ne ho wako for free ni nyina nam transfer ban ba kokro na rate no say bisa won say Ren Hedenk ne kra say no wetua over $140,000 Hedenk buy no player buy no be develop ma wo paso so anya point no adwuma buy pa na obey de ma wo had to fall within that period no the position net say ball buy pa na hu say ha say ball na so exciting na call a certain level I was so kuko sa ka hunu we $146,000 obo sa ka hunu we e ka hunu enti say na ye free why the nyame ase but look at even the timing of it rich minimum agents adanke also ma heart to folk player ba unim agent no si there bi osro adent no osro na has e wo transfer ban into top player anko betime na ma has no o si there bi uncertainty onim e bia ye be si window ni be close na untua sika no MN lift ban into no we nya player no so wo hu ade ba ko no transfer ban ba ko no esunsun so me pacho da be na e close window no enye kwese da ya rate and a player subsem pediasa papa quality a what certain level and anka has special omo no o ga se by no obe yomo dodo na so obe lusi omo meboa
no saba na dey on no some personal discussions be amaye no akire
rich I know
what I say the terms and conditions whatever they will be
but the point is that you whatever other catch them before the na mu apaso imagine say e bia asante kotoko aba mediama aba ediana aba enema baba bedi nkom menim say on serve any ban rich all serve ban o say ye be ban na fru so how sure enam ye say ban na wo ka no ye be but what the point na say and definitely you be lose certain players to your competitors into even timing no ene ukuada ye woda efiada memenda kwasiada ya two window num ti by now the possibility say one lose quality players be a na nke wo so onyo to sa class you know very high omunyo munye maye next time the bia me kasa de chiro say bra aya na ma mpanyimfo ma impression bi say aso omunim ball no mu chenye with the greatest of respect muni ani ana mo bia ya na ebi mu etutu no emi ehu se ball no omunim mu sa because rich so onim ball no mu pa unhwe konkoto sa tight kind of way massa situation we mu rich pass also anya me point no so a piece of good news na emom next time no omunye omunye ma yie ye boy raba so say no na omo petie ye bo na ba so watua sika no has every transfer ban no but me by extension men said that who say a news say so exciting say mpanyimfo ye bibi huhu o say ye e kana ode watua o kana ode kana watua o kana
e kana so watua no
onjo fans
de ndi no onjo fans na say sa kana okotua no e bia kwama say has we transfer
enti eye wasum na adwo utie wasum adwo but enye say we bibi huhu o so ba beje fans uye pobi mana obeje fans mu fans 100 years abekoso adwo fans meboa uye o commercial center obeje ho fans but we dey anya dey aye je ho fans o respite about wafam but anya dey aye je ho fans into rich within this period or say has yes smart and e basi out in danger so ehum uko players ho a ohun ye bow ejamabo see enim so are desperate definitely have to folk ehia a top striker meboa enti ababu ejamabo obekọ a creative midfielder ho uko ho a ye babu ejamabo because wanya woniema yie ti o ma niema no unni emre o wafa Ediana for now so we any signings. Of far Santa Cotoca betia can say 80 to 90% na sumajon. The person yen why most of the class on why the person we every and ras bia any honum say tinchina chan because many class ni be dealing also me certain players mom obi one cause oh chairman position way already only per 2 only per 3 or more no explain the actual yeah okay yeah signing be abio but onu unisa advantage no enti ye ku enim no next time na nyo bia nso coach bia ne technical director bia nso no so kofa no bra o de compman ene he denga bai the only idea on be ya ne say on baba be sai on baba my Holland for asa so kai so mo asa na e the trend ya yan say that who be papa be on the pitch rich kanya me so asem no crime but o asa
e think mom there in fact na mienu no green
asa be bossa aka we
won say that hu ne handprint bia sa period no be do house no un say that hu ne handprint baku say do house
asa be bossa aka
that is why on sometimes I hear teams in so many smart
exactly
nipa no na sign contract what I say the moment I na sign contract no so one man contract now so na based on bia ne niam bi nti wo dia bufo pam no a a bit of contract
yes
or go FIFA ko jinisika so what I say enti time I mean that time I have to who say okay demand no grab pan ntimi nye no twema na dwuma no nso
na nya no ntina watara unim de ntia na watara che ono watara na esa ntia sie pamona sike ebetu ade ama no ye ntimi ntia ma ntino ye hu kotoko kroma Zachariasen at a point ye see ye reassign no okay CK akono edu ba bia se ye be reassign no CK si da bi o reassign me dia I say on the make terms for fro enti your club say edu ba bia omo so timi smart odo coach ni timi kokko set tight corner bi on kan chance we yiwadi chairman wo ho me pese me koso no ye adwuma ba Miss Ranka yi we ma me we so strategy no enti also has an money 90 has going forward and enye so ti broni ana adimrika eko anu na ekuye no ti broni bia na akofa na adimrika FIFA ya kwa
ya me come say hidden way for be dia pa no
be
anti coach say o kromo mu timi say
sheka na me ba hidden anka Samates coach no Christopher Enin our join post city to say in terms of technical direction and going to me more now even your papa prof ya call no ebusia dwas onimajuma pa prof minta ajuma prof minta be ya man no bi na hidden be ye it is sometimes when we appreciate your own
okay
na e ka bi o ha me enkobo
all right enti has a folk on some no and no Jonathan Nana oh boy I say the coach is absolutely wrong to make such comment while the league has not yet started. It should have been internal conversation to the club. Keep it up, Richard, and your crew. Okay, Madam Montana, no more interna. The Bianuana, a dear do baby, a the Bia complains you go to Yaya hands on Benfui. Anyway, emphasis on the been from Uniat Practical Institute Omo, Essebra Nebusia Air Computer, so I bet ye palm a piano. I come at the mama catch us and Nadia baby, we are sick on a computer word money. I want tea. Say, one ya bread with computer on and some high, but quite down. And until I say, Bomodia Neko, a UPI, cushion computer, network and cyber security, engineering, online business and e-commerce, design technology, drone piloting, software engineering, any AI need nano. You bet show I'm on some what benepa, Uvi so Benya my papa, no to me, I near Chow Kaye. And into over so cost as Kuibia. Cecilia make us a cradie. There's a huge discount. Idea to send 2 Kaka Krebia. And it's a bit of one house no Kakushia there. Our UPI 0555 383848. Not more any common Vim energy drink, champagne energy drink. The pacho unya be a pa a one energy drinker, a bar, you know. In fact, be a one be beer, a dear dancer, sampa. Energy drink baby in Ruta so no Vim champagne energy drink on my ababo ama won so bibia akoye adiamantiana won so apebi no anum na bibiano and so I come adiamaza 3220 A3581 A3582 A3583 on so betimi abana oba chewa bien first caller hello good morning Pacho Miteo, Udi.
Pacho me the kwami me kaseprim pasetia. When you go keep papa on pasetia. I'll be me make the shepa join. And I found a buyer me ya school or radisco. And film close for me you said the next thing to share join. When we do here, let me talk of record of 1975. Oh, I remember one. Na me hwese dia park ni fitia na ya kan na boki person na me hwe o ya kan wo to no ho na ape me talk of radisco park ayeye training was ye said saka e fa na me hu me se me ga go da e na me ba wani na me go me hu no hu me kotodwe ene me ba kepa se da se ye tuwa nti anya obi no be se yare a yare kese a wo Ghana
okay
ya obi no be say ade amumi nyina ye mu ense mu ma no mpeni mfo no mu anu me bibie ye ma ye me damasi
okay men so me dance pa yem fan scholar
hello good morning what is that
na me adum
iPhone ni kinika ni ukaanza
okay
mo juma pa mo magana mai kaka nkaja hase pe ifo se bo ma baso so mo tumi akotia kama FIFA se ari hase ya DM tele siro mo plus papa mai na ni mo wa sharp chance nya baya mo katum le ni jembefi damasi
okay yensu ye dance hello
oh the great Richard papa akope
akosini
oh akosina wada wo we ana ne kusi pojo
oh okay ana ne minche okay
me peva ba sen ka smo bojo ye papa Now I said I see the saying and the league in the side also come mind one a change from also come talk about every because the way I asked me as she said no from a David Wire Timber Senator no share Gabriel now Bruno Gomez become wife Odegaard now a new Saka Gokeres a better chase wow Richard I see the league you better say Fala Mesafi body first year give that you better good game you quite unbeaten
okay that's it hello let's go
I didn't think you come out of your word
Amos
a portrait about papa but somehow papa papa I will check and I'm a vampire I feel and never conquer my near one year by a cotocomo maybe a look at Kata but Daurma when you said almost your parents a good so hard the vampire supporters young son pop one town much not be young conquer my that's what be
okay yes yeah that's me was a koku complain is men kind the message koku be an message no the bantem na me hu ha why fache me fache me say bia me o the message ba na men kan fache mpa why fache me hello yes sir
good morning Rich na mpom di say
nyame adom
me tia oni o bajafo ni takoban fatilo mo nyina oni pana o ma comment ni me di back say you onu what way say the car you should never say you should car and then the car saba and you know o car dia o say we dey me fe ni nya scan ka meto ade dira o kasa ade na mo pese o ma ne be koso sa ade na mo pese mo say o ma ne tia ye fa wodi so enye fe
era say ye fa last call na etwe ho aba hello
ye call am for bia review
me too
asemo na ta say adansi ka una kurum akra to folk me edenyamia se say ya yi we na eden komia na eden e be se say it na eden free so let me say on say change na no na one you quality players be on bed e beto it is management say on pay quality players na yenya good coach na kotokoni ha so on ewo premiership a and man league near den eye affordable me say be si yenyama kotokoni ha no enimu and obi agusia won na won nya supporters na kwa mo bia banyame ka mo baba
ate eda se pa tie for ma entwe homra kitu abi emra emeto so emfama mission so 4.5 ento YouTube Insha TV na ya hwefo ne atie for so mra na omomekan krata no enso bi krata house of folk dia ba ne tintini ne tietie na se ampa omanya krata de free aya FIFA HS nansen technical data ne party ways manfa kwan papa so do ko FIFA sika na so mutua de mo koye back and forth sa transfer ban e ban se say the has so tua sika no tua sika no so ampa FIFA e de kata abrom say sa transfer ban na e da house of folk no after paying Aaron headache former technical data no say the kwana dem has and so ebetimi go ahead now whatever transfer dues be on person me bia no so etimi kata no and da YouTube Insha TV YouTube betimi aba na oba be hwebi na asami ba na say yebisa kwame oparado so no kasa adema house of bobo eko no yebisa ne say kata yi no kre if you house or an abana confirmation no it is a yinti kwame oparado bra on so kasa dia fa kata no.
Oh, sir, there's good news everywhere. In this situations with FIFA, what happens is that once you settle whatever that you have to settle, the call, and as a legal team, would call, they will have to write to FIFA that yes, this is what has happened. FIFA is going to once everything is settled, and they have also written to FIFA. Everything is there.
Okay. Kwame Prado ekasadema aye house folk and other sanchiche mu no enso de ba to confirm it say ampa omanya krata e free FIFA ho once a car na o na so mutua de ma ren heading omutua ne de as a transfer ban to say FIFA therefore I think it's a good news.
Rich, good news but I don't know me stories be say no tie ana me ha me hu bebre one say eja ubetua oba school fees be pile up na be kwa kotua no untua school fees na ma meja basobode meboa it's your duty na teacher no we de omnie obebre na womre rich hwe saa de we aha siye papa saa transfer ban no transfer ban kroya na nam so ema ha to folk epamu ni coach so ya we because Didi Dramani talent or scout say no person no mo ye adwuma no transfer ban nti went me enya sa talent no finally had to folk ekokodi third has to say enya enough wapamu ni coach they felt that now say uncle extra mile and so anya magician forgetting said there was a transfer ban na ni refi enti enunti no we're losing one of the finest coaches or the any subri take his decision yem find discipline in maybe ntonche based on omo anu asem omo kan na ye kun di omo kan ye nu
so na yen kofa dum kase no emram nyame adom a ochina ana yenua Clement ayisi apia obafie ha baby a ho na yeni na esikasam so finance de omo kan wan kan ya refrichina ko nya usika so antum bibia ba mnyabetre na makanye nyame ya adoma we de nyani gisam ya rohosam de ma Nhyira FM and afi Live FM in fact the Kumasi unit of multimedia ye nua no ne papa enso eda from nyame ya adoma ochina na abusua ayene se omo 81 week no awo amam from camp prison on adwumadie no enso ebetimi akoso awo eye asuofa bar kese road na ona eye dwumadie no enso ebetimi akoso nti nyame adom ochina yidina yekuja yenia Clement esi apia
from an opanu nsia
na akopema nwumre na one week no so no etimi ay kama pa nti yeba manfum na yenso yede yen support abre eye abusua na abusua yemfamusia na yenkofa adom kase no emfama nyame adom a ochina yebesan enemu ahia kakra